Hashtag lies about the creation of Israel. Oh, Seth, you really want to go? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show on a rainy Wednesday here in town, and very special guest, a very, you're overwhelming me at this point, Drew, with your notes.
I know.
Oh, Drew
it's
Lane
ridiculous.
From
I look
Drew
like
Lane
Alex
show.
Jones in front of his desk.
Yeah, well, what when he had a desk. Did
they liquefy it today?
I don't know. I thought that's what's been going on the last couple of days is they were going to raid. He was crying on camera the other day saying that they were going to raid his shit.
He said 3 emergency shows since then.
Oh, okay.
Which he said could be his last show. So
really?
I thought maybe you knew something I don't know. But
No. I don't know anything. The Drew Lane show. Drew Lane is here. Thank you for coming by, man. I wanted to have you as my last guest here in Detroit before I head off to sunny Arizona, but you're going out of town tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going for meeting up with a couple high school buddies.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Are they?
I'm psyched.
We when we went to Vatech that time, were we meeting up with college friends?
Yeah, those are college friends. These are high school buddies, the Triple Threat Trio.
The Triple Threat Trio.
Yeah, Alec and Johnny. That was one of their mothers called us. So yeah, we're just gonna hang and have fun. And
where did what's his name fit in the crew? The rich kid.
Irsay.
Irsay, yeah.
Yeah, he was part of that group actually. Johnny stays in touch with him quite a bit and goes to Colts games and
he
stuff.
Seems cool as shit.
He's a good guy. He's always been a good guy.
I mean, he's always been a partier. That's sort of been
absolutely.
like a knock on him for some reason. Like, I don't give a shit. That makes him way cooler in my book.
Well, he liked to party a little too much.
Is that
at
possible?
times?
I know a lot of people that party too much. They're the funnest people to be around.
No, he's just a guy that loves music.
Yeah.
He loves football.
Have you done like a deep dive into his guitar collection?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Holy shit. He has Jerry Garcia's, what is it, the Tiger guitar, his most famous guitar?
He's got
That's part of his collection.
David Gilmour's guitar from Comfortably Numb.
Yeah.
He's got Ringo's drum set. I mean, it's insane. And he travels it around, and he creates these bands. We were interviewing Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and I said, hey, didn't you play with Jim Irsay? I went to high school with him. Actually, I didn't go to high school. He went to Catholic school, but we knew each other from 3rd grade. And Kenny goes, oh, yeah, Jim Irsay. And he just starts going on and on about Jim Irsay.
Really?
And then I mentioned that, yeah, you played some with Stephen Stills with this little band you had. And he goes, yeah, I met Stephen through Jimmy Irsay. And it was just like, oh, my God.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, he doesn't just hang those guitars on walls either, or those instruments. Like, he lets people use them.
Yeah, he does.
Like
Kenny Wayne played the Gilmour guitar,
really?
I believe. Yeah.
I think he recorded Dark Side with that guitar or something. Like
very possible.
Yeah, one of those, like, that was like his main guitar. That thing's got to be worth, who knows what that would be worth.
I think he paid it over $1 million for it.
Yeah, probably.
And it's funny, every time something goes up for sale, like, oh my God, Paul McCartney's selling the lyrics to Let It Be. And I'm like, I know Jimmy's going to probably buy it. And sure enough, a couple days later, it's usually
so
his.
Awesome. How cool is that? That's so. Yeah, if you could do it, I mean, can you imagine being able to have that kind of like music history, like be a fan? I mean, we'd all love to do that.
No, he's living our dream, and it's funny when we were kids, you know, his family was insanely wealthy, and they lived on Sheridan Road in Winnetka, which is right across from Lake Michigan, which is really
on the water.
If you wanted to buy a house, and they weren't on the water, strangely, because that would be more desirable, but. I would say houses on Sheridan Road around there they probably go for 10, 15, 20, 30 million now, depending on the size of the lot. But they had a pool, he always had fireworks. It's like, why does he have fireworks?
Legit.
Yeah,
fireworks.
legit fireworks. He had a universal weight set in the basement when universal lifting was the big thing.
Yeah.
And when we were in high school, and his dad was always out of town because of the Colts, and so was his mom, he would go into the basement and pull lobsters out of the freezer, and let's fire up some lobsters, This is we're 16 years old.
Didn't you guys get in shit for making his butler makes fillets at 3 a.m? You guys are drunk or something?
He didn't do that to him, but he just would maybe a dozen people would crash at his house while his parents were gone, and so Jimmy would go Audrey would come on the intercom like, "How many got in there, Jim?" He'd be like, 5. And he'd be like, "What's that mean, 10, 12? What the hell's going on in there?" He called it the junk shop because Jimmy's room was like a house. It had these giant speakers in every corner, this incredible sound system. And the problem was when his parents were there, to get in the house, he had to turn off the alarm and let you in the bathroom window and then turn it back on really fast so his dad didn't see the light go off and on.
Why?
In
Just
his
to
room?
sneak you in?
Yeah, so his dad didn't know he was letting someone in the house.
Gotcha.
And every once in a while you'd hear Jim, why'd you turn the alarm off? What the hell's going on over there?
Oh, nothing. But he just lied to his dad?
He'd go, Dad, Michael Brown was in my bathroom window. I just opened the window to talk to see what the hell he wanted. Because Michael Brown was somebody that nobody really liked.
Different Michael Brown.
Yes. And then you could monitor on the intercom for some reason. Because I remember Jim used to do this thing where he'd go, "Oh, my dad, he's already forgotten about it." And he'd put on the speaker where you could listen and you just hear this outrageous snoring. Just the loudest snoring.
From his old man?
Yeah.
But do you remember, would you have still known him when they moved? The famous Mayflower?
Yeah, I knew him then. I want to say I was just out of college, but I wasn't really in contact with him. But when I did know him was when his dad bought, and we literally used to play basketball after school at his house. He had a full basketball court.
Yeah.
We'd play football at the park, which was a couple blocks away. So we hung out a lot then. And one day Jimmy said, "Yeah, my dad's going to buy the Rams." And Jimmy was prone to exaggeration, so we were
like the LA Rams?
The LA Rams, yeah,
at
the LA Rams. And so 2 days later, headline, "Irsay buys Rams." It was like, what? And so we're like, "Jimmy, your dad bought the Rams. This is so cool." And he's like, "He's going to trade him for the Colts." It's like, what? He's going to trade him for the Colts. And 2 days later, Irsay trades Ram for Colts, which was, nobody had ever done that.
Georgia Frontier comes into play? Wasn't that the Frontier
No, Carol
family?
Rosenblum owned the Rams then, I believe.
Okay. When did the Frontier family come in? Because they've owned the Rams.
Well, let's see. So
what year is this?
Bob Irsay traded the Rams for
hilarious.
the Colts. I don't know where Georgia Frontier came in. She came in when somebody died, didn't she?
I think so. Did her old
Wasn't she
man
married
own
to
her?
the?
No,
maybe it was
maybe.
her.
Yeah. That's usually how the women billionaires.
I know the richest women's list.
The richest,
Melinda Gates.
Hilarious.
What's her name? Bezos.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw a headline today in Daily Mail, and it was about
her
Bezos. Yeah, her low-cut leather miniskirt. Lauren Sanchez wows in low-cut leather miniskirt, and then I'm like, God, where the hell were they? And this is, as Jeff Bezos attends son's graduation. I'm like, what? Why is she wearing this ridiculous outfit at a high school graduation?
Wait, I'm getting confused. That's his current girl.
Lauren Sanchez.
Yeah, and his ex is.
She's throwing all his money away. She's giving it all away to charity.
Smart, yeah.
She got married too, really fast.
Yeah. Well, no, didn't she? Was she the one? I always get these billionaires confused. Was she the one that married some high school science teacher?
Yeah.
Who made $25,000 a year or something? How did he fuck that up? How did he? Because they got divorced shortly thereafter.
He must have gotten something. I don't know. That's pretty. That's
seriously,
pretty crazy.
how do you screw that up?
And that's
You're a high school science teacher.
That's a pretty weird rebound to go from the richest guy in the world to a high school science teacher.
Yeah.
But she had half his money, so what the fuck?
Why not?
And do you see Melinda Gates? Not only did she get Bill Gates $76 million, but
Billion,
yeah. And then they're working on the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation together. And then she's like, I don't like this foundation anymore. I want my own foundation. And so No, she can't use her $76 million to start her own.
Billion.
Bill has to give her another 12 and a half to start her own fucking foundation. But that was the best $12.5 billion he's ever spent to get rid of her.
Yeah, well, otherwise she's probably threatening behind the scenes. You give me that $12 billion, or I'm gonna tell everybody about Epstein Island, everything about Epstein.
Oh, and she's, she was on Conan's podcast. She was on. I mean, when people like that start throwing their weight around. Like I saw her on the CBS Morning News with Gayle King, and it's like they had nothing to talk about. It was just like she just wants to be a big star, I think.
Yeah.
And Conan's podcast was so bad. It was horrible. And I was like, wow, that's weird. Why would Conan even have her on? And then I thought, well, if Melinda Gates asks you, if somebody says, Linda Gates would like to be on a podcast to promote blah, blah, blah. Somebody like Conan has to go, oh, shit, I don't want to talk to her, but I probably should because she's Melinda Gates.
But she's not going to say anything. She's
that's
going to
just
give you exactly what you would think.
It's a waste of a podcast.
Totally. She's not going to be entertaining, and she's not going to gossip.
And, Conan had Biden on, too. And that was a fucking bore. And did you see the Smartless guys? Which is Jason Bateman and the other two guys. They had Clinton, Obama, and
Biden.
Biden on.
Yeah. Horrific.
Terrible.
Yeah.
There's I went through their reviews. They had so many fucking complaints about that interview. It was funny as hell because people love them.
Yeah, they're funny.
It's a huge show.
No, you can see through we have these guests on because they're fun, entertaining, and the audience is going to love them versus we're just going to pretend that these guys are cool, that these Democrat politicians were
they're all Democrats, so they were kissing their ass. Right, basically.
Right. It's like Stern's interview with Biden. Absolute fucking. We watched that last time you were here. Just the ball washing, I think you called it. It's just incredible.
No, it was horrible.
How do you get to that level? Why would you even do that? Why would you even have that guy on if you're going to treat it like that?
That's the thing is that that's so fucked up is that Biden, I think, has decided, because he's done a couple other podcasts that, hey, instead of doing interviews with newsmakers, or news people who should ask you tough questions, I can just do interviews with a Smartless podcast. They've got millions of people listening.
Sure.
And it's just as effective, and they'll kiss my ass. They're not gonna bring me down. Is Jason Bateman gonna do that? No, he'd be a pariah in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So they're fucked. It's like, well, you can't really say no.
Do you think they give those guys, because they used to try to do that stuff with us. Remember when you'd get a guest that was like, hey, whatever you do, don't talk about him being caught with some porn star 5 years ago. We're not, and they would try to do that, and sometimes you'd bring it up anyways, and they threaten to disconnect. Do you think someone like Stern or the Smartless guys are getting direction like that, or do they just know better?
I think they know better. I think Stern
that's kind of how I feel.
Stern is so locked in with the left now. And if he wasn't, by the way, he could not survive. Yeah. Because every time something comes up with Stern in blackface or with, mentally retarded people who he's making fun of on a daily basis, the Whack Pack.
Yeah.
What's his name? Gary the Conqueror, who used to be Gary the Retard.
Yeah.
Wendy the Retard, who's now Wendy the Slow Adult. Actually, he doesn't have any of them on now. None of them are on now.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's abandoned the Whack Pack.
Yeah, that's pathetic. And people that got caught saying the N-word or something, and it's like, oh yeah, it was reading a quote of something, or
Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Joe Rogan, great example. And you're like, yeah, whatever. Pretend like you're upset at that. The Stern stuff is hard R.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
He's in blackface,
no saying
bullshit.
The N-word multiple times, making terrible jokes,
and it's like, but nobody's going to call him out on that. Really?
No, because he is basically he's part of the entertainment arm of the Democratic Party. That's really almost what they are.
It's so embarrassing.
He'll never let Joe Biden down. He'll never get off Trump's ass.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's. I mean, Hollywood's always been associated with the left. Yeah. But it seems like it's maybe a little stronger now. I like the guys who just kind of sit it out.
Yeah.
Because I don't even understand.
It's hard to do, though.
Yeah, it's hard to do, completely sit out. But I mean, to be very selective or to sit out, I appreciate those guys. Because even the guys who are pro-Trump, I mean, that's a really tough way to go in Hollywood, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks.
It is. Who was the one? Was it Fallon that tried in vain to sit out for a while?
Yeah, I think he did.
He's
not really a hard either side. Fallon isn't. He'll make jokes, but they'll always be jokes that are not that brutal. Or Like, Kimmel is just, on a mission to destroy Trump.
Yeah.
Every night. I know it is weird to me.
It's very, I don't know. It's like there's something about it where you can't, I don't even recognize it. Like, how do you not make fun of how do you not see what's going on and call that out for what it is with Biden? Well, like Biden is literally I don't know if he's a vampire, he's a dead man. There's no way around it. And it shouldn't take James Carville coming out for people to go, oh yeah, James Carville finally admitted. It's like, no, we've all seen it quite clearly for a while now. But these guys don't see it.
The Wall Street Journal had a big story today where they interviewed 45 people, and the message is, insiders say Biden is in a steep decline, and they mentioned they had a few references to, somebody said, yeah, I was in a meeting with him, and I couldn't even understand what he was saying because he was talking so softly and, was trailing off, and which we've seen. We've seen him on the podium do that. And what it amounted to was they interviewed, I think, Republicans and Democrats. All the Republicans, of course, said, oh, he's cooked, he's done. Yeah. And then the Democrats, most of them said, oh, he's sharp as a tack. And then a few of the Democrats said, he's really slowed down. Yeah. So it was taken as, this is a pretty tough piece. And of course, immediately.
I wonder why they're doing that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You mean the Wall Street Journal?
Well, yeah. If it's like setting the stage to replace him in a couple months and swap him out for someone else, they're in a really tough spot. They really are, because how do you take the first black female and shit can her? But you'd have to. You couldn't run her.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so stupid because 70% of the country doesn't want either candidate.
I know.
And they're both going to run.
Yeah.
There's no stopping him. It doesn't matter how many times Trump is convicted. Yeah. He's still running. I didn't even know you could run with a felony.
I didn't either. He can't vote for himself, but...
No, he can't have a gun.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw Bill Barr today, and Bill Barr is a guy who, is not a big Trump fan at all. He and Trump had many scrapes.
Seems like it, and then sometimes he seems like he's completely against Trump. I never know what to make of him, really.
Yeah, I guess I don't either, but I don't think...
He seems more like a Trump guy, though, I would say.
I think he and Trump have had scrapes, though. Big scrapes, where Trump has called him out for being a total loser, and you know how when Trump turns on somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, Bill Barr was talking about the New York trials, and let me see. I know I made some notes on this.
Yeah, we got to figure out what your notes are here.
Bill Barr said he thought he didn't think he was critical of the judge, first of all, and he was critical
Mershon
of
or whatever Mershon.
Yeah, he was just kind of implying that it was just a poorly run case. He called it a travesty. Prosecution didn't articulate the crime well. He wasn't surprised at the verdict because he said of the way the case was conducted, the prosecutor never was made to establish the elements of the crime. It was assumed from the beginning that it was a campaign election violation, and he didn't think there was.
Yep.
And he just thinks that this whole business of people running for office on the basis of getting someone.
Yeah.
And I understand that because I think when somebody runs, an attorney general runs and says, I'm going after deadbeat dads, or I'm going after this kind of crime, I don't have a problem with that at all. I think it's great.
No.
But when somebody says, I'm going to get so-and-so, and Letitia James did it, and Alvin Bragg did it, and I just, and Bragg is in a district where Trump gets 6% of the vote.
Yeah. So, and it does kind of feel like show me the man, I'll find the crime kind of attitude when you do that, like.
Well, I think there was some slop in his books. I think there was probably a bookmaker. I would say there's probably a misdemeanor in there. There's probably a few misdemeanors in there. But to take this and say, well, it's a felony because, it's time to overturn the election.
Yeah.
And this overturn the election term is driving me fucking nuts because I can think of so many things where people have lied to overturn the election.
Yeah.
Like the 50 former Intel people who said that Hunter
51.
Biden's laptop was not real.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden repeated it. And Joe Biden's campaign started it.
Yeah.
Recruited the guys. They did not look at the laptop.
Why does no one like?
Why is that overturning the election? Why trying to overturn the election?
Why do people that are just like on their side not want to even acknowledge that? Like, I don't understand that because I've talked to people that are like hardcore, like they just hate Trump, and I get it. There's plenty to hate there.
I think they just say that that bookmaking that was bullshit. Cohen paid her. It wasn't Cohen's money. Trump paid him back and didn't acknowledge what it was for.
Right.
So that is therefore a bookmaking violation, and that is a crime.
Yeah.
Just like people also say that, Hunter Biden said he wasn't an addict. He was an addict. He said it in his book. I mean, he's guilty. He's totally an addict.
Yeah.
But my only point about that is, and I'm not a Hunter Biden fan at all, was that if no addict has ever said that they were not an addict, everyone that owns a gun would not be an addict.
Right.
Now, I think that's a little preposterous. And I've been suggesting this, and I haven't really heard much from anyone, that I don't think this crime has been prosecuted much, if at all. And a federal prosecutor today came out and said, he was talking about both trials. He said, I thought the Trump trial was very unusual, especially the property, the first Letitia James trial, which I agree. Anybody who deals in giant loans like that knows how weird that trial was.
Yeah.
He thought
and they've
the second
all
trial,
said it. A lot of them have come out and said it too.
He also said he had prosecuted a lot of gun crimes, but he had never prosecuted somebody for lying about not being an addict on their application.
Yeah.
So I think it is unusual, but he is fucking nude, wielding a gun on Pornhub.
Yeah. Hilarious. Hilarious. The amount of people that want to make this about Hunter Biden's dick have always appalled me too. Like, this was never about Hunter Biden. No one gives a shit. Like, Bill Maher's like, I couldn't care less about Hunter Biden's dick. It's like,
I didn't vote for Hunter Biden.
Yeah, I didn't vote for Hunter Biden. It's like, really? Are you going to stop it there and act like that's what the problem was?
That started.
Or anyone gave a shit about Hunter Biden's dick? It's funny to laugh at, but
I think when people originally said that a lot, though, was when Joe Biden said, I don't know anything about my son's business. I don't know anything.
We've
never talked about it.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, that sounds suspicious. You never talk to your child.
I remember.
You have 2 kids and you never talk to one about what they do for a living, and he makes millions of dollars? That's weird.
You want to know how stupid I am? I remember thinking at the time, like, wow, they really take this seriously, this deal of separation of powers. They really take this seriously. As if on its face, that's not just absurd. As if any father who's in their child's life wouldn't always be talking with them about updates on how things are going, what's going on.
Well, they got him. Congress is going to nail him for lying in his congressional interview because he said, and this is pretty crazy because I always wondered what he would say. Remember that text message where it's on an app and he says, my dad is sitting right here. If I don't have that money by tomorrow, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, I got to make that go away. And so Hunter claimed that that wasn't, I don't even use that app, or that's the wrong app, or something like that. So anyway, they found that there are messages before and after that message through the same app to the right. Or they said it was the wrong Zhao. His name is Zhao, I think. That's not the Zhao I talked to. Well, whoever that Zhao is paid him $5 million two days later. So apparently the wrong Zhao was threatened enough to send him $5 million.
$5 million, sure.
Oh my God, this guy's dad is sitting next to him. Fuck. So he's completely cooked.
That's hilarious. Why wouldn't I thought he was going to go with, no, I just made that up. No one was sitting next to me. My dad didn't know anything about it. He wasn't sitting there.
I'm not sure he hasn't. No, he has not said that. He's not addressed that.
No.
But I have heard people on the left say that you can't prove you sitting next to him.
Of course. And when you're talking about,
but he's in Joe's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't want to act like that all the shit happens on the left, because I just happened to be watching this morning when I don't know if it was Morning Joe or if it was CNN was talking about Trump going to jail, if he's sentenced to jail.
I sort of hope he does. How fucking
I think it'd be really wild.
It'd be wild.
It would be wild, yeah.
We'd be in uncharted territory. We're already there.
I think he will get off if he goes to jail, because he's been saying, I don't think the public stand for it. I really don't.
Yeah. I don't think the public's going to have a choice.
I'm not sure the public would stand for it, to be honest.
Listen, this whole by any means necessary, I believe them when they say it. I do. I don't think they give a shit how bad it looks. Like Epstein's suicide, if we were all saying that as soon as he was put in jail, we were like, oh man, as if this guy's not going to be suicided in jail. And what do you know? 2 days later, he was suicided in jail. And it was like, yeah, we could all see it coming. It's like they don't care anymore. It's like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? What the fuck are you going to do about it anyways?
I don't think anybody really cares about anything but winning. And honestly, I have this feeling when Trump won in 2016, of course, people were like, oh my God, the people were crying. Yeah. People were, I'm leaving the country. So.
I love those people. Those are my favorites. I'm leaving the country.
I know, those are great.
They're great.
But I kind of felt like by the time COVID came around, I was like, wow, that was kind of a booby prize winning that election, because look at all the shit he had to put up with the Russian investigation, impeached twice, the, right or wrong, COVID, and then Biden wins in 2020, and really, that was kind of a booby prize. He has not had it. I mean, no, he's not considered a good president at all. His approval rating is, 32%?
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that as much as they want this so bad, I have a feeling it's going to be a booby prize again.
Really?
For whoever
they're just
wins.
going to screw it.
Yeah, they're just going to get shit on nonstop for 4 years. We also haven't had a recession since 2009.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a long time to go without, and when there's a recession, oh my God, are you the worst human ever if you're the president?
Yeah, of course. What do you think? And we won't spend too much time on politics. I know people get so fucking pissy about this stuff.
Oh, no, they take it really well. They generally are really understanding about politics.
I find this stuff fascinating more than I ever did at any point in my life, though. Honestly, I really do. The corruption, all of it unfolding, and the reality that we're all seeing that, you just took for granted. It brings everything into question. I'm sorry, it just does. When you see the CIA, what they're doing, and the FBI, and everything from the Mar-a-Lago raids to powerful people being able to take down political enemies, it's crazy. It's crazy to live through. I never thought we'd see anything like this. I'm worried about November, honestly. I don't know how that plays out. I stand by it, and anybody that's listened for a while knows I've been saying I don't think they allow Trump to win this election, period. I think by any means necessary means something, and they will fucking kill that guy before they will let him in. If we have to go back to 1963 tactics, if we have to drive him in a convertible down a fucking street in Dallas, whatever.
I don't think Trump will get in the convertible if it's in Dealey Plaza.
But why would that shock you? Wouldn't shock me in the least.
No, I guess I wouldn't be shocked. I hate to even think about that. But,
I do too. It's crazy.
I've heard De Niro say this. He said it on Bill Maher, and he said it somewhere else. Trump can't win. He can't win, which is like, that's the wrong thing to say, because when you say he can't win, no, he could win.
Yeah.
He absolutely could win. In fact, he could win by a significant margin. And that was one of the things that Bill Barr was talking about today, was that what he thinks is bullshit, and I couldn't agree with him more, is that the appeal cannot be handled before November. You mean to tell me that we can make a vaccine and make everyone take it, or you're fired?
Yeah.
You lose your job if you don't take this vaccine. But we can't possibly appeal this case in, 5 months?
Yeah.
They can't handle the appeal in 5 months.
Yeah.
Because his point was, people are going to be very fucking pissed if he loses the election by a close amount and then wins the appeal.
Yeah.
That's going to look terrible.
Yeah. I none of that makes sense to me. Why you can't figure out the immunity, presidential immunity, the Supreme Court? Give them a fucking long weekend. Let them take a look at it.
I don't know why that takes so long.
Put something else not so pressing on the back burner if you need to. Who cares?
It reminds me of, who was the running back for the Ravens? Was it Ray Rice that punched his wife?
Ray Rice.
And after that video came out, which is a couple years later, and the Ravens were like, we're looking at the film and we're investigating. It's like, you just saw it. Come on. What do you need to know?
Yeah. I love the people that were like, this video changes everything. It was like, no, I was pretty sure I knew what it was going to look like if you took a fucking healthy, young professional athlete and knocked a bitch out with one punch. I didn't really need to see the video to see, yep, that's probably how that's going to go down.
That's weird, because
it sort of went down just like I thought it would.
Every one of those surprises me. It shouldn't. I mean, I feel like I'm really naive for being surprised. But you remember the one of the Cincinnati running back Nixon punching the girl?
Yeah.
And by the way, she hit him first.
The blonde?
She did. She just a glancing little chick blow, and then he went, boom!
Yeah.
But she did hit him first.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Remember when Snooki happened?
Oh, yeah.
Snooki in the bar getting jacked?
Fuck.
See if you can find those videos, dude. Snooki getting popped.
I'm on it.
Yeah. I remember that. Remember how much that shook the nation the next day after that episode aired?
Who hit her? I don't even remember.
It was just some random asshole.
Did they get the guy?
Yeah, I think so, in the bar.
Okay.
He was just some Jersey Shore meathead.
The other one was like the Diddy thing. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, the stomping on her is like, whoa, man.
I got to be honest. I think those kicks didn't land very well.
No, they didn't.
In the butt.
But it was the stomp, which is you are a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's really, I think it's like spitting on someone.
Yeah, spitting on someone's almost worse than being punched.
But just like, I mean, that was like Super Diddy. I mean, he's never moved so fast in a towel.
Yeah.
I mean, he was fucking raging. And, I watch a lot of true crime, and people always talk about this phenomenon where, in fact, I was watching one last night. It was about I Survived a Serial Killer. It's a People magazine investigates thing that runs on the ID channel. And this woman, there have been a couple missing teenagers in her area, so to speak. It's down in Grove, Illinois. And so I think she was a little nervous because one of them was her friends, but you know how kids are. You don't think that much. So there's a guy that pulls over as she's walking, I think, 4 blocks to her friend's house. And he's like, hey, how you doing? And he's in a nice car, window roll down. And she looks over at him, and this guy was famous for his really bright blue eyes.
Yeah.
Chicks were just mesmerized by his eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was that hot. His name was Bruce Lindahl, Lindahl, I think, if you can bring him up.
Yeah.
Bruce Lindahl.
Is this like the hot felon? Remember the hot felon?
Yeah, that guy that got out.
Those were piercing blue eyes.
Jeremy Meeks.
I'm telling you, this guy's blue eyes are so fucking hot. They're so piercing.
Yeah.
Every woman on this thing was like, oh, his eyes were incredible. I couldn't stop looking at him. And so she's like, oh, he's really cute. But being a 16-year-old, you're just stupid when you're 16. He goes, she goes, what are you doing? I'm going to my friend's house. And he says, what are you going to do over there? She says, we're going to smoke some pot. And so this guy goes, I got some great pot. You want to buy some? And she's like, yeah, sure. And so he goes, I live 4 houses over, which he did.
God, this is the adult. This is like the grown-up version of I got some puppies in the back of my van or a candy in my van.
Except he was right in her neighborhood and piercing blue eyes. Have you found Bruce Lindahl yet?
Yeah, I got him here.
He's so hot. Yeah,
we'll come back to Snooki.
I'm telling you, you might get hard when this picture goes up.
All right, it'll be up over here.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Can we zoom in on the piercing eyes?
Stupid mustache. What is that? Is that technically
handlebar? I think 1978, though.
Okay.
God, can we zoom in on those piercing blue eyes? I mean, honestly. Everyone talked about his piercing blue eyes.
And this is the guy. This is
that?
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Okay. Anyway, so she goes to his house with him, and she said she got in the garage. She walked behind him because she was like, well, I don't want to get in your car, but I'll follow you. I'll just walk behind you. So he's in the garage, and he's getting out of his car, and she walks into the garage. And she said, as soon as she was like 5 feet in the garage door went down, and she's like, that was a little weird.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, come on down. I want you to show you my pet bird or whatever. And so she goes down to the basement with him, and she's like, whatever, She's 16.
Yeah.
And then they go back upstairs, and she said he went down the stairs, and she said when he came up, I looked at him, and it was like he looked like a different person.
Really?
I mean, people say that about people who are about to kill them or people who have these rages. He looked completely different.
Like dead eyes they talk about.
The piercing blue eyes were gone, replaced by black eyes.
Wow.
She didn't say that, but his eyes were such a big part of the story. I thought they overdid it a little bit. But anyway, and he pulled a gun and put it to her head.
Really?
And he's like, you get in here, and he takes her to the bedroom and tells her to take her clothes off. And then he attempts to rape her, but he couldn't get it up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so...
As hot as he is, he couldn't get it up.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Those piercing blue eyes, just a total waste.
Failed him.
So then she said she's like, how am I going to get out of here? So she said she decided that she would go the way of saying, oh, it's okay. I think you're really hot, and I'd like to... Can we go out on Saturday or something? And she goes, let me give you my number. He did.
He fell for that.
He fell for that. She gave him her number and on a little piece of paper, which they showed later on. And then she leaves the house. Bye. And I don't think she got the pot, though, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then she goes to her friend's house and immediately calls the police.
Yeah, of course.
And so the police go and they take him in, her in, interview. And they decide there's no case because she gave us her phone number. She wanted him.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Wait, was this litigated in the 70s? Or was this recent?
Yeah, it was in the 70s.
Yeah, that was that. We were in a weird state of like, what was she wearing?
Yeah, what was she wearing? Exactly.
For it.
I know, but that failure caused like 3 people to die and maybe a lot more. This guy was horrible. In fact, he died in 81. He was stabbing the shit out of a dude, stabbed him like 40 times, and then he accidentally stabbed himself He was in such a fury, and he had an
Femoral artery or something?
and he bled out on top of the guy he just killed.
No way.
Yeah, I know, it's a wild story.
Wow, you almost buried the lead there. That's a crazy story.
I know, that's crazy. No, the piercing blue eyes are the lead. I'm telling you. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Oh my God, who doesn't want that guy?
That's amazing. They are deep ocean blue. You can tell.
Yeah, no, just piercing.
I'd like to see him without the facial hair.
I have to avert my gaze occasionally because I'm being pierced.
He's got great teeth too. They're overshadowed by those eyes, but I'd like to see him without facial hair and a clean haircut. I think he'd look stunning. He really would.
Yeah, he could use a makeover. Definitely.
Yeah, if you gave him one of those makeovers, you want to see Snooki get punched while we have the video?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
I mean, it's been a minute. Let's see.
Hey, that's Paulie.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not Paulie. That's
Get to know me.
Ronnie. No, not Ronnie.
No.
You know what, Snooki? You're a real cool girl. I'm like, thank you. Like, finally. Ugly ass out of our faces.
They never see it coming.
Wow.
They never expect that. It's hard to see that. Yeah, these old
I'm
videos.
working through them.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm so sick of the Jersey Shore people. It's like
they
they are
still around?
still. Yeah,
I
they
don't pay
still-
any attention to them.
They do Jersey Shore vacation.
Yeah, I've
and they're
seen
like
the,
married and have kids. And they're like, oh fuck, I got to hang out with these idiots again to make some money. And it's just, come on. They had
what
their
is it?
moment.
Mike the Situation, right?
Ronnie.
Yeah,
Who's assaulted? He's been busted for assaulting
Ronnie.
chicks like 4 times, I think.
Yeah, and then you had Paulie. Was that Paulie? Because the one guy
that
who
was-
had up there, I didn't mind.
Was that
him as
Paulie?
much.
Yeah, he's okay.
No, that wasn't Mike the Situation. But DJ Paulie. Paulie's not that bad. Paulie
he's
has
all right.
not bothered me as much as the rest.
Vinny's a tool.
Which one is it that keeps coming around on these reunions and she was booted on like episode 1?
Oh, that's the dumpster from Staten Island. What's her?
But there's Sammy. Is it Sammy?
Is it Angela? Angelina?
Fucking Vinny.
I think Angelina's the one that she got kicked. She left the first show.
Yeah. But she's there for all the reunions. And
Wait, who is the fucking idiot? Dina, that gross idiot.
Yeah, there she is.
She's like part of all of it now.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Was she the replacement girl or?
Yeah, she was the replacement for Angelina,
my
I think.
God.
But they all have fucking podcasts.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I looked up one. I'm like, wait a second, that show has an audience? Seriously?
As a podcast?
Yes, Snooki does. God. She's got like 3 books, I think.
God,
So
that show was
stupid.
awful too. Yeah.
It was fun when it first was on. I enjoyed it.
Well, it was unique. I mean, for the rest of the country,
these kind of guys, those guys talk like that.
we didn't see those people. We'd always heard about those type of people, that Jersey Shore
Yeah.
kind of thing, and that kind of like having 6 of them in a house together was kind of wild. What was it? GTA? The was that their thing? Like gym tanning, laundry, GTL.
It's T-shirt
Yeah,
time.
T-shirt time.
Hey, by the way, there's a lot of callbacks going around right now, including, did you see Tiger Woods sparks concern as clip from Las Vegas charity event goes viral?
I did see that. I was going through his Daily Mail had a story about
He's at
all
the Tiger
his injuries.
Jam poker charity event.
That was
in
over
Vegas.
the weekend, right?
Yeah.
And
That's where this
That's his
happened.
event.
Yeah.
And so what you saw was he gave an interview, right? Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about? And
Yes.
and it's like people are debating, was he fucked up or not?
Yes.
He's fucked up.
He's talking really loud, I think, for
Yeah.
Tiger. But that's where he used to hang out with Jordan and Barkley, and he used to plow everything in sight in
Yeah.
Vegas. So he's triggered by all those memories. Of course he's going to drink.
Yeah. There's something weird. He looks to me like, and maybe it's just, I feel like when you have 1 to 2 drinks, you sound even worse sometimes than when you get to drinks 4, 5, and 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
In that video, I'm like, he's just starting the night.
He looks to me also, can you put the picture up, if possible, of Tiger
Yeah.
Woods? He looks to me like someone punched him in the left side of his face.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
face looks
Well,
swollen.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time.
No, but
Have
the
you
audio.
gone through the list of his injuries and stuff? The painkiller addiction this guy must be on a 30-year, like nonstop painkiller addiction.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gotta be.
Supposedly, he's completely sober now. Supposedly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if he should be sober,
He
to be
looks
honest.
fucking weird all of a sudden. All of a sudden, he looks weird.
Look at the left side of his face. I feel like some chick punched him, like he just thought it was the old Tiger days and he could just have anything.
Do you think his number is accurate, by the way, when he estimated it was like 120 chicks?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
No way.
I think I read that in here that it was estimated. Let's see.
That's probably what we know of.
I'm thinking he would, if he wanted, every single day he could get some skank at a Waffle House to bang.
Exactly. Sure.
Like 120.
Yeah.
I mean,
by the way, can you play the audio from that?
Yeah.
From that, if that was a Daily Mail story, I know they had the audio, and somebody else had audio too. A lot of people had audio for that. That story
okay,
I thought the story was kind of unfair.
Reports at the time claimed he confessed to sleeping with around 120 women during his 5-year marriage. So 5 years, 120 chicks.
It's 26 a year. That's possible because all those girls thought they were his girlfriend.
Yeah,
I mean, he
that's
spent a
true.
lot of time texting with them, and maybe he I just like having like 12 at once, but I don't, beyond that, I don't cheat on those 12.
I think they get an unfair advantage, a lot of these athletes, because I think these, like, if to us it's impressive. It's like, wow, 12 chicks at once. Yeah, but they're in different states.
Yeah, and he travels all the time.
They're not in the same, like, if I was to have 12 girlfriends at once, they'd all live within a 3-mile radius of me.
I know, it'd be impossible.
Like, it'd be impossible to juggle that. You wouldn't even want to try. But if it was like, yeah, you know what? Once a month I go to New York, I go to L.A., and I go to Atlanta.
I think you can clearly see here where he was punched.
Yeah. Oh, my
on the left side
God.
of his face.
That might have been Ellen Nordigan again with a 9-iron. That's what that looks like.
I think he actually was fingering a waitress, and she just hauled off and hit him. Anyway, everything's forgiven. It's okay.
Yeah, sure.
But let's hear the audio now.
All right.
Yeah, and before we go too far, I want to say we got a $2 super chat from one Travis Boley saying, "Hi, Drew. I need a job."
Oh, okay. Oh, are there any more super chats? People are super chatting?
Yeah, just that one right now, but we'll see more come in.
Yeah, I don't think people are aware, at least our audience is not that aware of super chatting. But yeah, you can spend a few bucks and get your message read.
Yeah.
And we haven't really done that before, but why not? Are people watching the show on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Got a pretty good amount right now, 36 concurrent, 82
All right.
total.
Yeah, I've never had a YouTube following.
We've never done the
at
YouTube
all,
live
at all.
much, but spread the word, you 36.
Yeah,
Some more people
no
on there.
shit.
Come on.
No shit.
Okay, so
All right,
here's
play it.
Tiger.
It's Daily Mail. Give it a second.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in Houston, Texas, looking at TM.
You know what the funniest part is I already pre-watched the ad on silent, made sure it was all ready to go, and then I pulled it up, and it plays another ad.
Oh, they knew what you were doing.
Oh, they
So
knew.
how long is this fucking ad? Are they going to make us watch a minute?
Apparently.
Long ad here? Jesus Christ.
He just doesn't the left side of his face look weird?
Yeah.
I know.
very
when
weird.
he's at the poker table,
Very
it looks
weird.
like he got hit too.
He says, some days I just feel really good, other days not so much. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like painkillers versus non-painkiller days. Doesn't it?
What is he? I mean, what's he referring to? Just that his injuries or whatever?
I mean, it's back. He had his, like, spine fused to the point where he wasn't able to rotate. And they had some, like, revolutionary spine surgery where he was sort of able to rotate again. But he's had his Achilles go, his knees, his back, his neck.
Well,
and then he almost lost his fucking leg.
Yeah, he drove across 4 lanes of highway traffic going sideways, full speed, like a 75 miles an hour in deep REM sleep.
Oh, we're good to go.
Wait, is that the last crash?
Yes.
That one?
Yeah, in a sponsor's car too.
In a sponsor's car.
7:15
your
in the
way to
morning.
the golf course. I don't know who had a worse day, him or Scheffler. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let's watch it. You got it queued up there, Gary?
I think it's the stories that the kids come back and tell. First generations ever go to college. Parents said you never go to college. Grandparents said you never go to college. It's useless. And all of a sudden they're in college, flourishing, going to Stanford, Harvard, MIT, Yale.
He's exaggerating like crazy.
Going to amazing places, doing amazing things.
Yeah.
One of our girls went through our learning lab early on. She's one of the directors who landed one of the rovers on Mars.
Amazing.
Can we fact check that, please? He made that up.
Yeah.
Wait, what about
Houston,
Get the
Texas,
fuck out of
looking
here.
at TM.
So he
Wait, what did he say she did?
She landed a rover on Mars, but isn't that a team effort? Isn't that like 1,000
Get the fuck
people
out of here.
that
We
did
haven't
that?
landed a rover on Mars in 50 years, have we?
I think so. I think we did not that long ago. I think Mark Rober was part of the NASA team that did that put a rover on
And
Mars.
somebody from his program.
Sure.
Okay, sure.
Apparently the
And they
last
all went
time-
to MIT, Harvard.
Yeah.
Nobody goes
Yale,
to Michigan State.
Stanford. No, of course not. No.
Apparently the last time we put a rover on Mars was February 18, 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. And Tiger's
And
team was on
Tiger's
it.
team was part of it.
Sure.
Apparently.
Some chick. Yeah, there's something weird about his cadence there.
It seems like he's talking too loud to me.
Too loud?
I mean, I kind of want to see him talk normally or just in a...
He looks high to you. Yeah. His eyes are cashed. But, you know.
Doesn't he look different?
He looks way
really
different. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, he has lived the life of like
Yeah.
1,000 years.
I am dying to know because you sent me a text before you came over and you just mentioned Donald Sterling. And I was like,
yeah.
don't even tell me anymore. I don't even know why I figured the next time Donald Sterling's name came up in the news,
He's got AIDS.
it would be because he died, you know?
Well, he already died, but
Did Sterling die?
Yeah, he died.
When?
I want to say like 5 years ago.
Did we know this? Were you
Looking
guys
it up now.
aware that Don Sterling died?
Yeah, that's where we had a discussion the other day about Kenny Rogers. Like, is Kenny Rogers dead? And I was like, I thought Kenny folded it a little while ago.
Yeah,
and
I have my V. Stiviano glasses.
look at those. It turns out
Stivianos.
Kenny did know when to fold them. I think it was like 2017.
Kenny Rogers?
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers.
He knew when to hold them and he knew when to fold them, and he did pass away
Wait,
already.
look that up. Are you sure Don Sterling died?
I don't think he is.
What?
I don't
looking
think
at
he
it
is
right now.
either. Okay.
Get the fuck out of
Drew,
here.
you were never
Then they brought
wrong.
him back
Still
to
up.
life. They brought him back to life.
Still up.
He is. He's still going.
Yep.
Thank God. I feel like a huge missed opportunity if we missed Don Sterling's death.
He's 90.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And Shelley Sterling is alive too, I think.
Yeah, probably. She was probably much
That's wild.
younger.
He must be so psyched that Ed O'Neill from Married with Children is playing him in this new FX series.
Oh,
And
is that what's going on?
yeah, if anybody doesn't remember, Donald Sterling owned the Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers, and it came out that he had this much younger girlfriend who had
V. Stiviano.
recorded him. Yeah, she had just recorded him, and he was telling her all these things about black people that were very unflattering, that he didn't like her going to games with black people or taking pictures with black people.
To help minorities.
So
It was really his problem was Magic Johnson, and he didn't want her taking photos with him
Magic
at his
Johnson
games.
on her Instagram.
Right.
And she was his girlfriend on the side. He was married for like 50 years to Shelley. And by the way, in the miniseries, which is on FX, and it's also got Doc Rivers is played by Lawrence Fishburne, who's fucking great.
Yeah,
just
Fishburne's
great. And the
seems
girl
like
playing,
too small of a role for Fishburne. 'Cause
no,
it's
he's
not
in it a lot.
Movie, it's
He's in it a lot. Yeah, I guess
he's a big deal.
He's great. He's
TV
so good.
movie.
Well, I thought it was pretty good. Actually,
Have you seen it?
Been enjoying it. Yeah, I've seen the first episode and a half.
Oh, I gotta watch
It's on
it.
FX.
Okay.
V. Stiviano, whoever's playing her is excellent. I don't know who she is, but she's really good. And what I think is shitty about this is that at the time it was like, oh my God, this whistleblower V. Stiviano, what a wonderful person. You know, she let us know what a racist this owner is.
Yeah.
And he had to sell the team like overnight. I mean, that
Crazy.
happened so fast.
Crazy.
It was really weird.
He didn't even say the N-word. I mean, he didn't,
Oh, yeah.
he was
I guess
sort of offensive.
Well, he's pretty offensive.
Yeah, but I mean, for an
No, I
80-year-old
remember
guy,
clearly no N-words.
no N-words. And Bill Burr had that. He's like, name another 80-year-old white billionaire in a racist rant who never drops the N-word, and he took his fucking team from him.
I got to tell you,
Crazy.
honestly, I think what happened was, I think he thought she was really his girlfriend, this 26-year-old hot Latina.
Never put out.
I don't think
Never.
she put out, no.
No, I don't think she
she
did at
blew him
all.
a few times or tried to or wrestled with his dick or something. But
She might have flicked a helmet, but I don't think she did shit. I got
don't
the
think so.
impression it was like I don't know, just some weird old man relationship.
He was very entranced by younger women. So he bought her a condo for $1.8 million. She had a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
She had a Ferrari.
Yeah.
She had $200,000 in cash, and she had also apparently forged some documents to get some other assets from him.
Yeah.
And Shelley
wiped it out.
This bitch, V. Stiviano, she was really. Oh, well, in the miniseries, there's stuff, I don't know how true this is, but for example, Shelley walks into this clothing store she goes to, and there's V. Stiviano, this other super hot chick, and Donald Sterling, like picking up the bill.
Yeah.
And so she's like, what are they doing shopping on your credit card? And V. Stiviano goes, this place is for old ladies. I don't shop here. I mean, she's just really taking shots at Shelley, and she really treats her like shit. And Shelley knows what's going on. Anyway, Shelley institutes a lawsuit when she finds out that she has all this shit of theirs.
Yeah.
So that lawsuit was actually taking place when she released the tapes. So it wasn't like she just went, this is terrible what he's saying. No, she was about to lose assets, and so she was trying to barter.
She lost that condo.
Yeah, she lost it all. She did.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by that, to be honest.
Because he gave it to her?
Yeah, he gave it to her.
Yeah.
Finders keepers, losers weepers. I mean,
I don't know how they're going to do because you could not do the Don Sterling story without bringing up Lawrence, his manservant, Lawrence. Juice, please. That dude has to be in it, and you have to include the Anderson Cooper interview.
Yeah,
I didn't give him those aids.
I haven't seen that yet.
Has to be in it.
No, there's a, did you send him the two things I sent you?
Yeah.
Okay, the shorter one is right at the beginning of Magic Johnson. This is supposed to be him going, oh, Magic, I feel so bad about this, but it turns into like, he's got AIDS, he sleeps with women all over the fucking place, and then he tries to save it, and it's like, oh, Sterling, are you kidding me?
Is it this one? Barbara Walters?
Is it 5 minutes, 19 seconds, I think?
Oh, no, that's
that's V. Stiviano.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the... This one is 5:32.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
This is great. He's supposed to be apologizing to Magic and everyone else. This is his way to fix it.
I'm not a racist. I made a terrible, terrible mistake. And I'm here with you today to apologize and to ask for forgiveness for all the people that I've hurt. I never dreamt that this could happen. It's a terrible, terrible nightmare.
Magic Johnson, has made a public comment. Do you have something to say to him?
What could I say to him? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm hurt, but it doesn't matter.
You're hurt that he said that he spoke out publicly.
I'm hurt that he called me up and he said, don't do anything. Wait until you hear from me. Then somebody called me later and said he doesn't want to be involved. And then he released a tape that I sent to him, that I talked to him in confidence. Here is a man who's, I don't know if I say this, he acts so holy. I mean, he made love to every girl in every city in America, and he had AIDS. And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him. I hoped he could live and be well.
Fake.
I didn't criticize him. I could have. Is he an example for children? Because he has money, he's able to treat himself. But Magic Johnson is irrelevant in this thing. He didn't do anything harmful to anybody, and I respect him.
He released the tape.
I admire everything that he does.
No, you
He
don't.
admires him now.
Yeah.
I'd like to help even more if he would offer me an opportunity to help. I like to help minorities.
Magic Johnson said that he would never attend a game.
Yeah, Magic needs a lot of help.
Oh, yeah, our
Apparently
chat's
he
a lot
showed
of
up
this.
to a game today.
He would never what?
Attend a Clippers game as long as you were owner, and he came today to see the game.
He's there at the game.
Yeah.
Look how much fun he's having.
Oh, this pisses him off. Oh.
I don't think it's worthy of even discussing. Such a stupid remark. But he lulled me into waiting a week. Do you know what I mean? He said, don't do anything.
He told you, you're saying he told you not to say anything?
Yeah, don't do anything. I know the girl. Don't do anything. I'll help you. I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting.
What you're saying is Magic Johnson called you up, or you called him up?
I don't know his phone number.
He called
me.
you up
Yeah.
when the tape broke.
I don't call anybody.
He called you
I'm
up.
loyal to you.
I don't have any black people's
called you
phone
up.
numbers. You crazy?
And he told you not to say anything?
Yeah.
Why did he say don't say anything?
He just said, wait, be patient, I'll help you, we'll work it out.
Why do you think he said that?
I think he wanted me to just do nothing so he could buy the team. He thought maybe the whole thing would be resolved in 2 weeks. Well, what has he done? Can you tell me?
There it is.
Johnson, what has he done?
Well, he's a business person.
He's got AIDS.
Dribbles a basketball. He's got AIDS.
I'd like. Did he help anybody in South LA?
Well, I think he has HIV. He doesn't actually have full-blown AIDS. But.
Well, what kind of a guy goes to every city, has sex with every girl, then he catches HIV? And is that someone we want to respect and tell our kids about? I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background. But what does he do for the black people? Doesn't do anything.
He's opened a lot of businesses in inner city neighborhoods.
The Jewish people have a company, and it's for people who want to borrow money and no interest. They want to give them a fishing pole. We want to help people. If they don't have the money, we'll loan it to you. You don't have interest, one day you'll pay us back.
So
I'm just telling you.
What bank is that?
Yeah, I'd love to go to that bank.
It's all talk.
So are you saying that African Americans don't contribute to African American communities as much as Jewish people?
There's no African American. Never mind.
Whoa! I'm sorry. Where are you going, Donald?
Good move.
I wanted to apologize also to my partners. I have 29 partners in a league that's a wonderful league. I respect them, and I love every owner.
Oh, hilarious!
Oh yeah,
that is so funny. What would you pay to hear the rest of that sentence?
Oh no,
about African Americans, wherever he was going with that. You know, the more we see these billionaires, and I don't care who they are, NFL owner, the more you get a glimpse of them, they're just fucking weird. How could
they're nerds.
How could they not be out of touch? But every time you see, remember the NFL when they did something, and they got each owner to say something good about the country or something stupid like that. It was a few years ago, and it was like every one of them. It was like, dude, all you got to do is say a line. How hard is this? And every one of them was fucking weird. Even the Martha that owns the Lions was weird. I think it was 9/11 related.
Well, they're either super successful, uber successful business people.
Yeah.
Who spent their whole life accumulating tons of wealth, or probably pretty nerdy and weird.
Yeah.
Or they're their offspring who are really fucked up and, probably very ignored as a child.
Yeah.
And, then you have siblings battling each other for control. And I don't know, it is a very strange group of people, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Some better than others.
Did you notice that going back to the Irsay family?
Yeah, he had a very strange childhood.
That was a different class of billionaires, it seems like, for some weird reason, that when you're talking about the 70s or 80s.
His dad was not a beloved person at all.
No?
No, not at all.
I know he was hated when he moved.
Yeah,
by
but
a lot of people. But
actually, there's a great, if we wanted to, we could look at him. When he denied he was moving the team, he showed up at the airport on his plane drunk as shit, and some cameras met him, and he was just fucked up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am moving anywhere. What are you talking about? And
see if you can find that. What is that, Jim?
It's Robert Irsay holds
Irsay.
Press conference in Baltimore.
Airport drunk.
Yeah, airport drunk. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
But, he was gone a lot. His mother was gone a lot. His sister was killed in an accident.
Ooh.
Yeah, he had a brother that was special needs, shall we say?
Yeah.
Who was, really special needs.
Yeah, very
really,
special.
Really, yeah. So it was a very
chair-bound special needs, or
no, he was a biped.
Yeah.
But he didn't have a lot to say.
Sure.
Tommy. It was pretty sad. So, no, he had definitely had some difficult things. Because I know people who think, oh, that spoiled fucking Jim Irsay. It's like, nah, honestly, his life was not that easy. I don't think people really have any clue. He did run into a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's a really generous guy, though. There's nothing more this guy likes better than having fun with his friends and footing the bill.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's not the worst thing.
And he liked to party, too. He wasn't getting behind the wheel after a night out. I don't think, right? Jim Irsay just seemed like...
No, he got busted
sober
once.
now? Did he get busted once?
Yeah, he seems to be okay now. He really does.
But I don't know.
Is this Bob Irsay from the...
Is this meets Mayor...
let's see.
Is
This
that
is what
he's-
popped up when I searched Irsay.
No, it would. He
drunk?
talks to the media at the airport, and he's drunk. I think it's 1980. Could be 83. Hey, can we play a song or something? Take a break, and actually, I'll try to find it.
We can do reads.
Yeah, I could do.
You play a couple tunes.
I'll do a read. Oh,
okay.
I'll do a couple reads. See if you can find it, Drew. This part of the show is brought to you by your insurance expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance? Are you uninsured? Health insurance can be confusing. Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173. Also, this part of the show is brought to you by Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston, located in the Deer Lake Athletic Club. The Backcourt combines first-class service with a relaxed, friendly atmosphere, chef-inspired menu. They have daily dinner specials throughout the week, live music on Friday nights, and on Friday and Saturdays, the best damn prime rib in town. It's unbelievable. You'll love it. So next time you're heading out for dinner or drink, stop by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. Call them at 248-625-8686 or visit DeerLakeAthleticClub.com. Actually, why don't we pause it for 1 second? I can cut this out in post, but if you happen to be live, just give us a moment. We'll let Drew find that video and we'll come back out. I don't know where he just wandered off. So, so we'll just pause things for a second. We'll be right back. All right, through the magic of podcasting, we're back, just like that. We're back.
And I cannot find that Bob Irsay video. Somebody please send that to me. I know someone can find it.
I've seen that video.
It's really funny.
It could be scrubbed, honest to God. I know some of those things, if you're powerful enough, can be scrubbed.
Yeah.
I remember talking to Charlie LaDuff one day, and it goes back to it was about the mortgage crisis in 08. Was that 08, 09?
Yeah, 07, 08, 09.
What was that? What was the term they used for those mortgages? And like Rocket was doing,
zero interest or zero equity mortgages. Wasn't it you just paid interest only loans?
Something like that. That was like the catalyst, like the end all. And Charlie was trying to do a story about this years ago, and he's like, "Good luck finding those commercials." Like he's like, they are gone. Like everything exists on the internet, and those are gone. The Rock Financial ones, and
well, I can't get over that. Oh God, what's his name? The owner of the Patriots. That he is
Bob
able
Kraft?
to somehow keep that video out of the media of him at the massage parlor.
Oh yeah,
that's incredible power. And then, and then of course, no one was supposed to make a joke at the roast.
Yeah. Do you think that was real? The Tom Brady thing where he whispered to Jeff Ross.
I do. I think that was real.
I kind of do too, because they came out later and said, "Yeah, no, it didn't matter. We were just joking." But it was like, there's a lot of people that think there was something to that Tom was being serious. Like, hey,
no, Tom loves.
You want to shit on my ex-wife all you want, call her a whore, fine. But to leave Bob Kraft out of it.
No, I think he really loves Bob Kraft, and he did not want him to show up and get shit on.
Yeah.
But he didn't mind any of his teammates getting dumped on.
No, he sure didn't.
But God, that was. Did you watch the whole roast?
Oh yeah. Thought it was awesome.
It was really good. It was too long, but
you know who I was really disappointed in?
Who
was Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura?
No, they sucked.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? I was talking a little bit about it here right afterwards, and I was like, something about it. I don't know. Like, I used to really like those guys, and Two Bears, One Cave. Like, something about it is just.
Yeah. Okay. I can tell you what's going on with Bert and Tom.
What is it?
Well, Tom has. Okay. First of all, they've gotten extremely wealthy from that podcast.
Yes.
They were doing, a couple million views a podcast. And I think when they started out during COVID, it was like, oh my God, these comedians, they all have podcasts. It's great. And people were just flocking to these things.
Yeah.
And then I think naturally when you're making a lot of money doing something like that, they start to take it for granted, and they moved to Austin, Texas, and Tom built a studio, and they started banking podcasts. Like we'll meet on the first of the month, we'll do 4 shows, and then we'll release one. And so they're no longer timely. They're phoned in.
Yeah.
They're really not putting that much into them.
Especially when you're having conversations about your watches.
Like, well, that's what Segura was doing. He's talking about his cars, his watches, his wealth, and then he got into it with somebody at the airport and just lost his mind, some baggage handler.
Yeah, that never goes over well.
And so people were giving him shit about that, and then he went off on them. He's like, look, I just have to say to the poors. I'm like, the poors? Like the losers that don't make any money, basically.
The ones that spend their hard-earned money each month to go see you perform.
Just that, you're the only one that can change your circumstances. It's not my fault that you don't have any fucking money.
Yeah.
And so, and Bert,
that's never a winning attitude.
And Bert was bragging up a storm about playing arenas.
Yeah.
He's an arena comedian, and how much it costs to put his show on, and they've got trucks going from city to city, and it's like, oh my God, Bert, shut up.
Yeah.
And their audience, like if you see the comments underneath their show now, they're all shitty. Like,
really?
Oh my God, how many times is Bert going to interrupt this guest today? You know, and just a lot of really crappy comments. Then they put out a vodka, and got real into promoting it and promoting the merchandise, and people were like, oh my God, what a money grab. And then the roast was bad, and so their views have gone down a lot. And there's a lot of shows like that were doing 1 million views a show, and they're like doing 300,000 now, which is a shit ton.
Yeah.
But you can just see that it's just it's doing that, and it's weird watching something disintegrate in real time. I've been really fascinated by J-Lo, who is just like, everything she touches turns to shit now.
Yeah.
She can't sell tickets to her shows, canceled the tour. Album didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Her marriage is falling apart. Her movie was so dumb and it bombed. And now today there was a story. That $60 million house she and Ben bought is for sale.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just bought it.
Weren't they posted pictures today talking about saving the marriage and trying to rekindle the love or something? I just don't pay any attention to it. It's like she's a 55-year-old woman. Whatever. Who cares?
I know, and she's trying to be as hot as all the 25-year-olds.
Right.
And that is so sad.
It's awful to watch. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it's really grim. And she's beautiful, by the way. You know, if she didn't try to be the hottest chick in the world, I would say, wow, what a classy, beautiful woman. But she has to wear a crop top everywhere. She works out like 19 hours a day to stay hot.
I mean, we see this time and time. Madonna's the best example. Oh, God, you know what I mean?
And it's embarrassing.
Think about it. You were talking about her looking like she was rotting.
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
20 years ago. And she looks worse now. Like, I mean, obviously she looks worse now, but whatever she's trying to do, and it's like, holy, just stop. Why are you in a thong? You're in your fucking 60s. Knock it off.
Have you seen, too, she's done all these fat injections into her ass.
Oh.
She has a big ass now. Like
God.
the hot big ass, which is the thing now. I never understood that.
No, me either.
But I'm like, why would you? You're 65. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
She had a nice ass, by the way.
Yeah, I agree.
And the face, I think what's going on, and this is going to happen to a lot of these 20-somethings, because now I saw Sofia Vergara talking about how I want to have everything done. I want all the things they do, I want them done because I want to start over and look my best.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that.
And then she said, Botox and fillers are great when you're in your 20s. I'm like, oh, in your 20s. And actually, Dr. Roche told me that a lot of people who are 20, 25, 30, they're like, oh my God, there's a wrinkle. And they want to do fillers and Botox. Wow. And it's just, you don't need to do that. That's too young.
I've asked the question 1,000 times, like, who is the person that goes, that's hot? Like,
oh, you mean that plastic look?
Yeah. Who sees that idiot walking down the street and goes, oh my God, the amount of plastic surgery she's had looks amazing. Like, I don't know anyone who's ever thought that.
Bimbo fetishists. It's a whole thing. It's a little sub-community of the internet.
If you have, fine. There's always going to be weirdos that want to fucking do.
Well, there's people that like 700-pound women. I mean, that's the thing too.
Exactly. There's always nut jobs out there to like. Yeah.
You know who I saw? Let's see. What's her name? Oh, Kim. Alec Baldwin's ex-wife, Kim Basinger.
Oh yeah.
She has no wrinkles. And looks ridiculous. Looks bizarre. Yeah. I mean, she does not look healthy. It looks really crazy. It's just not a good look.
What do you think of the Ozempic look that people are doing?
Kelly Clarkson looks great.
Does she?
She really does. I mean, she was huge.
Yeah.
She said she weighed 240.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
I don't think she'd lie.
As Drew would say, maybe on the moon. Yeah. No.
Yeah, maybe she weighed more than that. I don't know. But she looks really good.
I thought she was bigger than that. But like Oprah. And Oprah, like coming out.
Oprah never looks right thin to me. It's always like, you're not supposed to be thin. No. Your head's way too big.
No.
It looks bizarre.
Yeah.
She looks like a bobblehead.
Isn't that weird how there's people that all we know is them fat. And then you see they lose all this weight, whether they worked out really hard or they're on Ozempic or they got gastro bypass surgery, whatever it was. And you're like, no, you should go back to being fat. Because you were way cooler fat.
Tom Segura lost a lot of weight, too.
Yeah.
And I don't think his fans like that either.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oprah, who's the other?
But Oprah tried to deny she was on Ozempic. It's like, Oprah, we've watched you for 40 years. Never lose a fucking pound. Struggle, all you've done.
And always gain it back.
And always gain it back within a month. Always. And now, all of a sudden, you're thinner. You're just like, what? No, it's fine. I just changed my diet and worked out. It's great. You're like, no.
Well, for some reason, people get really mad when people don't just come right out and go, hey, see how much weight I'm losing? I'm taking a pill. It has nothing to do with any work on my part. I'm not controlling my diet. I have no more self-control than I ever had. I just take this pill.
This
and when
pill
people
is amazing. It's amazing. Like, I'd have so much respect for that.
But when people find out that they didn't say that they just said, yeah, I've really been watching my diet, I've been working out really hard, and then they find out they're on Ozempic, they get so mad.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like,
it's
come on. If you're overweight, how many people that are overweight do not desperately want to lose weight and would do anything?
All of them. All of us.
So
I get it. I totally get it.
I don't really understand the judgment. Unless they're really lying for a long time.
Well, I had a problem. My only problem with Lizzo was like, Bullshit. If you could snap your fingers and be skinny, you fucking would.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks when you carry extra weight to walk 6 stairs, going upstairs. It sucks. Everything about being overweight sucks. There's no way. Don't act like this is some body positive thing and this is amazing.
No, that's the biggest pile
Stop
of
it.
bullshit. And her wearing, by the way, did you see when she went to the Lakers game in assless pants? I mean, she's at her heaviest, and there's no ass. I'm like, what? Why won't anyone tell her she looks horrible in these thong bikinis and stuff? She looks abysmal. It's like the worst thing. It's humiliating. And people are going, oh, my God, that's so brave.
Yeah.
I can't believe how great Lizzo looks. And it's like, so what? We're all supposed to lie? Everyone?
Yeah.
And if you don't lie, then you're the asshole?
Yeah. I saw.
By the way, is she losing weight? Is Lizzo? She's got to be on Ozempic, right?
She is.
Oh, I'm sure she. If she's not, she will be for sure. I saw a picture going around. You know, Facebook or where those things. There's always something like historical memes or historical pictures, and they've got a story, and it's always interesting to read these stories, whether they're bullshit or not. I don't know. But there's this guy, and he looks like your everyday Walmart shopper. You know, he's probably 350, and he's just sitting in a chair. It's black and white picture, and it's like, this was John so-and-so from 1890, known as the world's fattest man. People would pay to see him at fairs. And it was like, oh, my God, I've seen 15 of those dudes this week. Like,
what did he weigh?
Like 350.
Oh, okay.
And it was like he was the world's fattest man at the time. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know that it would surprise me that much.
You said,
that's weird.
1890, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it was 875 pounds, belonging to Chauncey Moreland.
Chauncey Moreland. It was not Chauncey Moreland because someone in the comments brought up Chauncey Moreland. So, like I said, it could be bullshit.
I just
but
said
it was like
1890, world's fattest man.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
nothing like being known for being so fat, like Walter Hudson. I'll never forget his name.
Walter
they had
Hudson.
to
Which
they
one
had to
was he?
knock out the front of his house to get him out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like there wasn't even a window big enough to take him out of.
This is one of these elevator shaft guys. When they die, they got to take them. We've seen that before, where they have to firemen's.
Yeah, no, it was a bunch
knock
of
the wall
firemen.
out.
It was a giant tarp, and they had to bust out this window that's probably as big as those two.
Yeah.
and carry him through there. And he couldn't leave his bed, so someone was just bringing him food all the time.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
do you watch My 700-Pound Life or 600-Pound Life?
I've seen it.
What a great show!
Yeah.
Those people are. I mean, there's a lot of them who can barely get out of bed, and it's like their
who's bringing them
spouse or their
food?
parent brings them all this fucking food, and
Yeah.
they'll even make it in bed, and it's like, oh my God, that's insane! You
Oh
can't
shit!
get out of
Look
bed.
at that. Wow.
That is Walter Hudson.
That's Walter.
That's Walter?
That's Walter.
See, now, if it was Walter was only around now looking like that in 2024, let's be going, oh, you look
He's brave.
great.
He's brave.
Looks great. Yeah,
The outfit looks amazing.
that outfit's beautiful.
We'd be paying him millions of
The
dollars.
bed sheet.
Well, now, how is Walter standing?
I
That's
think
a
this is
great
a
question.
wax statue of him. I couldn't find any good pictures of him. It has to be a wax. It was the only good picture of him that I could get.
How does Walter wipe an ass? Like, there's no way. Your
I
days
know.
of wiping an ass are so over at Walter's size there.
Well, My 600-Pound Life, they show them nude in the shower, and you can't
Yeah.
see anything.
Yeah.
It's
I love
like,
that.
I don't have to worry about seeing any genitals, ever.
It's the Peter Griffin thing. Whenever they draw him in a cartoon, they can show Peter nude.
Do you remember the guy who was, I think he was on My 600-Pound Life. We watched him on Riff, I'm pretty sure. And this guy's dad just attended to him. He had a big comfort towel he
I've
wore.
already
He was
got him.
nude. Oh, you got him?
Yeah, it was Casey. I'm trying to remember his last name, but I'm pulling up the images now.
Yeah,
This
and his
does
dad
sound familiar.
His dad would put himself in like this big
Oh,
metal
my-
tub.
yeah,
out
there he
on the
is.
porch. Yeah, there he is.
Holy shit.
Yeah, his dad took care of him, and Casey would just play video games all day. That's all he was
Yeah.
play video games.
Yeah.
He's perfectly
Why not?
happy. He was
Yeah.
delighted. And so there's a famous scene in there where he brings home like 3 bags of like tons of Big Macs and
Sure.
and
Yeah, why not?
And so his son is looking at it. He's like, it looks like they shorted you your burger. Oh man, sorry. It's like he takes his 8 Big Macs and his 4 Quarter Pounders and eats them, and his dad is short his burger.
Oh, no.
Yes, I swear to God.
Oh, my God. What,
That guy lost the weight, though.
He
He
did?
lost the weight. That fucking guy lost the weight.
does
Can
he
you
look
believe it?
good? Is he still alive?
He looks better.
Bad.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
alive.
yeah.
He's alive. But he's got all this sagging skin.
Oh, shit. Yeah. He needs to see Roche bad. Roche can help that.
I was just eating till I'm dead. probably.
Yeah, see, look, he can walk around nude, no threat of seeing anything.
Normal day for me is wake up around 12, figure out something I'm going to eat immediately. TV, video games, bed.
Comfort towel.
Not a lot of
I love this guy's life.
I like the headband he's got on.
It's hot. It's hot in Georgia. And all my clothing is restricting and tight. So I just sit in there naked, free as can be, and no one bothers me, door shut, we're good.
Well, it's great. And you probably got a nice income, too.
Safe.
So you're totally independent.
Video games are where I
Don't look
escape.
that bad there with a shirt on.
No.
Well,
He's got
tits up.
God, he's got that one guy that's going to kill me.
But he says it's not bad. Like he's like, hey, I'm totally independent.
Yeah.
What's the problem with this?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You never leave the house. You have no job. Your dad supports you, you asshole.
Oh, seeing the love of a parent is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like how you don't give up on that and just be like, dude, I don't know what to do with you. Fuck off. He's literally got a kid in a tub meant for a farm animal, and he's pouring buckets of water on top of him to rinse him off.
That's
Holy
really sad.
shit.
I can't reach everything on my back, and I can't reach everything below me, so, it's whatever.
That would be the cutoff line when it was like, Dad, I need you to wipe my ass. That's where I'd bail.
I'm all for a man having surgery, and I know she needs it to save her life, but it's just a scary thing to think of. All right. I've never had surgery, never been anesthesia, is something I've never even thought about. All those things are foreign to me.
Walk.
That's amazing.
It's scary.
He's not worried about his health.
No.
He's really not that worried.
Yeah. Amazing genes.
Well, he's a young guy.
Old man looks
young guy.
put together. Young guy. You know who I wanted to ask you about, Drew? I'm interested in your thoughts. My guess is you've got a take on Caitlyn Clark.
Yeah,
the WNBA girl.
I've decided that it's just too complicated to be a fan of this world. It's too complicated.
Yeah.
Because if you like her, it's like, what do you mean you like Caitlyn? Just because she's white and she's straight?
Yeah.
So what if she's straight?
Yeah.
What is that a
By the
crime
way,
to be straight?
Did you take issue at all with Sonny Hostin saying that she's got white privilege, straight
and pretty privilege?
Pretty privilege.
No, you have pretty privilege, Sonny Hostin. She doesn't.
Thank you.
Fuck you.
For Caitlyn Clark, I mean, honestly,
no, she's not hot. She's
stop
fine
it.
looking, but she's not hot. She's no privilege.
And it's not like there hasn't been hot point guards in the NBA, the WNBA.
Yeah.
They've existed. There's been the cute blonde that's, but
no, I was just talking about
Clark
this yesterday.
One of them.
These narratives about how, Stephen A. Smith had a couple women on and a dude on, and they were talking about Caitlyn Clark and the girl shoving her and all that.
Yeah.
And he said, he tried to say something like, hey, nobody's covered the WNBA like we have. And this Monica McNutt is like, I'm sorry, Stephen, but 3 years ago, you could have covered it a lot more with your platform. And he's like, oh, my God. And he said something like, I'm sitting here choosing my words carefully. This just sucks. And he just said, okay, whatever. I don't want to say anything. But that's what I mean. It's like, you have to be careful of sexism, racism, all this bullshit. I mean, it's like you take on all the women's issues when you become a WNBA fan if you're a dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And Caitlyn has been constantly saying, I owe so much to all the girls that came before me or whatever. And yet people won't stop saying that, where does she make all this money? And she has all these sponsors. What about all the people before her?
Yeah, yeah.
She constantly is telling us that, I appreciate what everyone did. She's just a nice kid.
Yeah.
Who's a really good basketball player. She's very good.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the problem? So why, if Caitlyn Clark is so unappreciative and so privileged, what about Bronny James? Is anyone saying that?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't heard anybody complaining about him.
No.
Except for me.
Yeah, exactly. And they won't. But
Why?
I wonder if this
he has no business in the NBA.
No, of course not. I wonder if this is a female thing or a male thing, not to be sexist about it, but it seems the pettiness I've seen before. And it's like, you could look at it this one of a couple ways. Like, if you don't see in the golf world what Tiger Woods did for your sport and how it took it to a level that it was never going to be at. It was going to be fat, old white guys playing golf.
But I think everyone did.
Yes, of course they did. Men did. Men appreciated it.
Yeah.
Women, it seems like, okay, you've been given this golden ticket, this chick that, God, anybody gives a shit about your stupid sport now. all of a sudden there's going to be opportunities and eyeballs on your sport that have never been there, ever. And, you know, no one cared. One of the funniest videos I've ever seen is the bus rolling through Chicago after the world champion, whatever chick team was, and nobody showed up in the streets. It's the funniest video I've ever seen. They're waving to air. And it's like, how do you not go, oh my God, okay, finally, our league that has literally lost an average of $1 million a year.
Right.
For
it's a charity
23
league.
straight
The
years.
NBA supports
It's
it.
a charity league. All of a sudden, we get our Tiger Woods, our LeBron James, where they're making money before they even get here. Now people are going to watch us. Our sports centers, we're going to have highlights on sports center. How do you not recognize that and instead be like, nah, she's white and pretty and it's like
And straight.
and straight. How dare she? By the way, the stats came out and said the WNBA is 32% lesbian or 38% lesbian. I was like, and 62% liars. Fuck, are you kidding me? We've all watched that league.
Well, I mean, I feel like they're telling us that there's something wrong that, so you white fans like the white players so much, huh?
Yeah.
Racist. It's like,
Yeah.
What's wrong? We're not allowed to like a white player?
No.
Is that a crime?
Or
I
is
mean,
it-
it seems to me we like a lot of black athletes as white people.
Yeah, people love Steph Curry for what Steph Curry does on the court. He's amazing. He's probably the best deep ball shooter ever. It's like you have someone that they're calling the female version of Steph Curry. Like, that's going to pique people's interest.
It seems to me it's
If
too
she was
complicated.
black, don't you think they'd still, if Caitlyn Clark played like she did, and I've never watched Caitlyn Clark play, just from what I read.
She can bomb some three-pointers, I will say.
Absolutely. So don't you think if she was a black chick or a Mexican chick doing that, putting up those numbers, that people would be, or is it as simple as like, oh, finally there's a white chick doing it, so we care about her?
You know, the country's 70% white.
Yeah.
And, you know, as much as I hear, people in minorities say, oh, my God, I never really believed this until I saw someone that looked like me doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, I think white people also are interested in people that look like them, and
Sure.
that's not criminal.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's a lot more people who probably might be intrigued by seeing someone. And by the way, it's a very non-white league.
Yeah.
So it is a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a kind of a different phenomenon. She's very good at it. I mean, all the complaining is just, it's like, oh my God, and all this chirping about, it just seems like it's too complicated to be a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm in trouble for something, for being a fan, for liking someone, or for not liking this person as much, or for not
Yeah.
appreciating the people that came before.
Or how dare you go, wow, this is interesting. I appreciate what this chick's doing, and this one goes,
Oh, so you just started to like the sport now that there's a white chick playing?
this Jamel Hill, who's just the most racist.
Oh,
cunt
God.
out
I saw her
there.
on TMZ yesterday. I can't stand her.
Yeah,
She's so annoying.
But she was talking to someone named Aha Wilson, 2-time MVP, 2-time champ, 5-time All-Star. She deserved a shoe contract before Clark did. And I was like, I've never heard of Aha Wilson.
Well, guess what?
She
Life's
could
not
be a
fair.
20-time champ.
Life isn't fair.
Exactly.
It doesn't always work the way it's supposed to.
Exactly. By
Too
the way,
bad.
Aha got her shoe contract recently anyways.
Oh, I'm sure they'll make a shit ton of money off it,
yeah,
too.
yeah. Now, Dave
That's
Portnoy,
probably a charity deal.
Probably. Dave Portnoy made some comment about, and I thought he was wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just the sexist in me, which, whatever. But he was like, yeah, Caitlyn Clark, she's getting ripped off by this new Nike deal. She's making, 5 years or 8 years, $28 million. She should be worth $80 million in those 8 years. Men 100% will buy her shoes and wear them. And I was like,
No, they will not.
Hold on. You had me until you said men were going to buy Caitlyn Clark shoes. I was like,
No, I very much disagree.
100%. I was like, in what fucking world do guys name one who can't wait to get the new Caitlyn Clark Nikes?
I mean, I'm sure this is measurable. Did guys buy Chris Everett tennis rackets and Billie Jean King tennis rackets? I mean, I don't know. I really doubt it. I don't think so.
I doubt it.
Or did they buy the female sprinter's shoes or the male sprinter's shoes?
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works.
Exactly. That, yeah.
So I know she's just become this easy way to get clicks, I think. So he's probably just trying to get clicks. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, he said, let's see, I'll read you his quote if I can find it here. So he says, yeah, they're stealing. This is stealing. 8 years, 80 million, and minimum is her worth, and that's probably too cheap. I hope she has an early opt-out if they don't pay up when she blows through this deal. Men would 100% buy her sneakers. All girls who play hoops will. Devin Booker, 5 years, 50 million. Caitlyn is 100 times the star in Impact.
I got to tell you, I can't believe these shoe deals are worth that much.
I can't
I guess they are. They must be.
It's weird because basketball shoes, men's basketball shoes, I don't know about women's. I haven't got my new Caitlyn Clarks yet, but they're fucking uncomfortable as shit. I don't care if they're Jordans or... It's very hard to find a comfortable...
The name means nothing to me. I guess, if you're a lot younger, I guess it's a big thing to have Jordans or
I like
LeBrons
Jordans
or
as
whatever.
a kid. I'm wearing a pair of Jordan But I've always liked that.
They were a cool
shoe.
shoe. Yeah,
they were a cool shoe. It's kind of like Converse All Stars. Like those for a lot of people, those will always be cool.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I always liked them too.
And they're not very comfortable. Yeah,
no, they're not.
Dude,
I loved Converse.
For the first 20 years I knew you.
Yeah, no, once my back when I started having back problems, I had to stop wearing them.
It doesn't surprise me. They are absolute shit, but they're cool. They look cool.
This Stephen A. Smith thing, I was all I could think of was, I don't remember when the NBA blew up, which was around 80, 81, 82, 83.
Yeah.
Were people actually going to, people like Stephen A. Smith going, where were you 3 years ago?
Yeah.
What? No, the league just blew up, and I'm here.
Yeah.
So what do you want?
Yeah.
What, you really going to give me shit for not doing enough 2 years ago? I'm doing it now.
I hate the dishonesty. I think it's why podcasts do as well as they do, because you and I can have this conversation right now and laugh and go, as if we have to pretend anybody on earth gave a fuck about the WNBA. For 30 years, no one's cared about them. It's been a charity league. The fact that you can't just openly say that and have to pretend like, oh yeah, why haven't we covered
people
women's
have been building it
basketball this much?
brick by brick.
It's like, okay, good for you. And you know what?
It's because it's a chick thing, I think, and that's why it's like it's too hard for me to fan. It's too complicated to be a fan.
Yeah.
I can't somehow maneuver my way through all these issues and all these people who are so upset about all these things I don't even understand or care about.
It's a minefield, and it's like, nah, you know what? I'll just stay with the men's then.
That's what Stephen A. at the end he was like, okay. He just didn't want to say anything more. He's like, they're just going to pound me for whatever I say, so whatever.
Yeah.
And then he did a podcast, and he's like, I made that girl by having her on my fucking show, and she calls me out. Monica McNutt and 5 other chicks.
Yeah, it is. The saying, "Hell hath no fury." Like a woman scorned. It's almost like these women have been scorned for being ignored for their whole careers. Like, I worked my ass off to get to the WNBA.
Oh, they
you think me nothing. And now it's
they want what the NBA guys have, and they think, I'm doing the same work. I work just as hard. No, it's not the same work.
Yeah.
You're not as good an athlete.
And the women...
You're the best female athlete, and you deserve all the credit in the world, but you're not as interesting to watch as the men.
No,
Sorry.
No, it's not even close. And when they're bitching about, these guys fly first class, and we had to sit 7 hours on a tarmac.
Because you don't generate the revenue.
You don't
make any money.
Any revenue. In fact, you go negative. Most businesses don't hang around for 25 years losing money every year.
Hey, what is the attendance like at WNBA games this year? I'm curious. How much has it gone up?
I don't know. Probably at Caitlyn Clark's, if I had to guess, I'd say probably pretty strong. There's a lot of...
What's the name of her team?
Indiana something, I think. The Indiana somethings. I literally couldn't name a WNBA. The Sparks? Was the Sparks a team?
That's a team, yeah.
The Hot Flashes? I don't think the Hot Flashes is it.
The Detroit Dykes?
The Detroit Dykes.
She's on an Indiana team?
It's Indiana...
the Fever.
Okay, Indiana Fever.
They lost to the Chicago Sky. I know you're a big Chicago fan, Drew,
love them.
I'm sure you're a big Sky fan.
Indiana Fever attendance.
That's going to be skewed because I bet their ratings are higher than they've ever been right now.
Yeah, no, I would assume that they are.
This is interesting.
What?
So the Fever's average attendance this season at the 18,000-seater Gainbridge Fieldhouse is 15,564.
Okay,
which is pretty good, yeah.
What was their attendance 2 years ago?
Well, which is the most in the league and up significantly from their other average of 4,067 for the whole of 2023.
Yeah. How do you?
They're averaging 15,000 a game.
They're up 11,000 this year.
Up 11,000 people. So
why is anyone? How could anyone bitch at this girl?
Yeah,
or about anything related to her?
Great question.
Protect her. The ref should be protecting her. She should be in bubble wrap on the floor. Come on.
She should be like LeBron, just traveling all over the court. Don't let anyone foul her. nothing. Can you imagine if she blows her knee out, what happens to the attendance for the only city in America that's watching WNBA
Okay,
games?
can you check the attendance for the Chicago Sky this year versus last year? Just curious. I mean, is it going to be the same, or is it lifted the whole league?
If the Indiana Fever was doing 4,000 people, that makes sense that you're paid $70,000 a year. Like,
yeah,
fine,
right. Well,
right. You're not worthy of a $100 million contract or flying private or having your own team jet. Like, sorry. And you know what? These leagues didn't start out with that. They all built it. There were people. Remember, you talked to Mickey Redmond. He had a job in the offseason. Like, though, even the guys that were at the premier level of men's sports in those early years of their leagues had to fucking do side hustles.
You hear those guys will say, oh yeah, I missed the big paydays of the '90s and the aughts and so on, but they don't go, nobody's giving me credit for everything I did all those years.
Yeah,
Wake can cook all this credit. They don't say that.
No.
So why do the chicks say it?
That's what I mean with men and women, and
it's too complicated. I'm out. I'm absolutely out.
I don't blame you.
So the Chicago Sky is at 8,255 on average this year.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, and then let me go back a year. Go back here, Chicago Sky is 7,000, so down 1,000.
In the ballpark.
That's not bad.
They're
That's
up
better than I
1,000
thought.
people.
Yeah, they were 7,000 the year before, so they're getting there.
Put her in bubble wrap.
So what are the shitty teams down there, like the Atlanta?
Oh God,
Atlanta Dream
Dream's
in trouble.
They're at 3,000.
3,000 people, 3,400.
What versus last year?
Washington Mastics.
What did they do this year versus last year?
So that's 20. That's a great question, Drew, because did Caitlyn
they don't have
Clark's
Caitlyn Clark,
presence,
but it probably does help.
But it helps the whole league.
Yeah, actually, if you look at 2024, top team is the Fever with Caitlyn Clark. And you just go back to 2023.
And they're terrible.
9,000 average on the Las Vegas Aces. That was the highest.
What are the Aces doing this year?
Let's see.
That's a nice graphic. I like that.
I know, it is nice. Aces are about 10,000 now.
Okay, so see, they're up too.
Yeah. So why are they loving this girl?
Yeah, why is anyone
Absolutely
doing
loving
anything but kissing her ass nonstop? And did you see, what's her name? I'm sorry, I don't like this chick. Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, I know that
She's the
name.
one, okay, when they had the championship 2 years ago, Caitlyn Clark had this thing where when she got hot, she'd do this. Like
in your face?
What do you mean? I can't see
It's
you or
the John
something?
Cena can't see me.
Yeah, can't see me. Yeah.
Okay.
And so when they were losing at the end of the game, Angel Reese walks right up to her and goes,
oh.
and so a lot of people were like, what a shithead. You know,
Yeah,
that's shit.
yeah.
And so people were going, oh, you racist. When Caitlyn does it, you don't care. Caitlyn did do it to somebody in their face.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
did it
Big
like when
difference.
she's running down the floor.
Yeah.
It was stupid, but
Yeah.
So anyway, anybody who complained about Angel Reese was an absolute roaring racist.
Yeah.
And now we were hearing too that nobody gives Angel Reese credit. And then when Jill Biden invited, she wanted to invite Caitlyn's team to the White House with the winning team. Remember that?
Oh,
And people were furious. They were like,
you're talking about
"Oh, what
after
an
the college
insult."
tournament.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was the college tournament.
Yeah.
And Angel Reese said, I'm not going. She's a racist.
Smart.
I'm not going to the White House.
Smart
Fuck her.
move. Smart move.
Yeah. And then this year she missed 2 weeks of the season, and nobody knows why. And when she was out, one of the other mothers of one of the players on the LSU team said something about, when is she coming back or something. And anyway, her mother went on social media, is like, you can't even spell, because she misspelled something on her post. She didn't like her posting about her daughter.
Yeah.
So this thing went back and forth between these two women, and the mother of the other kid came back and said, well, at least my kid's eligible and can keep a 2.0. So apparently it was her grades, but they didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, she comes back, and they end up not winning at all. But now Angel Reese, just yesterday, I believe, or the day
Got it right
before,
here.
she said that, in 20 years when everybody's, giving credit to Caitlyn for making the league, remember that I did it too with Caitlyn. It was that game we played in, when she
was
did
it?
this.
Yeah.
It was those two. They can thank us, both of us, for all the success. It's like, oh, wow, you really love yourself. And nobody's giving her shit, by the way.
Yeah. So I was reading a column here, and I can't remember who wrote this, but race and sexuality are at play here. There's a ton of jealousy from mostly, this is from Clay Travis.
Oh, okay.
And he's talking about this is a mostly black and lesbian league. Sorry, and they don't like this fucking white bitch coming to the league. Clay Travis doesn't give a shit.
Of course they don't.
But he's like, but also, and this is key, if you busted your ass at work and you were better than everyone else there, and then a new hire made more money than you ever had in your entire career, and you were way better than her, wouldn't you resent her too? Caitlyn is the highest paid women's basketball player ever, and she isn't even remotely close to the best. Maybe one day she will be, but right now she's being paid more than anyone in the history of basketball for a woman, and she's not even the best player.
She's a draw, though.
She's a draw. Duh. Why is this complicated all of a sudden? Why is this hard to understand? Do you understand? Like
That's why I can't be a fan. It's too much pressure on me as a fan.
They did this. Remember when Kobe Bryant came in the league? He doesn't come in as the king. He came in and everybody went.
No, he barely played the first year.
Exactly. But he still had a shoe deal, and lots of guys didn't that were better than Kobe Bryant. But you all went, wow, look at LeBron. LeBron got his dick kicked in for years in the NBA before he was the dominant player. Like Caitlyn Clark, can she get here for 10 minutes? But you said
Life's
exactly.
not fair.
It's a draw. It's a draw.
Life just isn't fair.
I think I agree with you 100%. It's too complicated.
Yeah, it's way too hard. I don't want to think that hard.
I opened the door, I poked my head, and then I went, there's too much shit going on in there. Just shut the door.
I thought I could just turn on the game and have a favorite player and enjoy them and stuff, but no, it's way more than that.
It's way more. Shut the door. Too complicated. All of a sudden, I'm being called a racist and a sexist, and
it sucks. You can't like somebody because they're straight. It's terrible. Hey,
how funny is that, too, that they're like, ugh, she's straight. Like, the fuck is wrong? Why is this all of a
Sonny
sudden?
Hostin is straight, too. Why is she calling her out for being straight and white?
Yeah,
and pretty.
And Sonny Hostin's mostly white, too.
I know.
Like, Sonny Hostin is like the whitest black chick around, and hot, and rich, and smart. Like, shut up.
I know, it kind of reminds me of Meghan Markle running around as this person. Oh, the racism, being black is so hard. Oh, my God. I'm so black, and the racism is terrible.
They want to know what shade of brown our child is going to be.
I swear to God, I did not know she was black. I had no idea.
I didn't know Kamala Harris was for years.
Kind of.
I didn't. Now that I see it, I'm like,
she's
yeah, okay.
Not really black, though. She's Jamaican and Indian.
Yeah.
So it's like
I swear to God,
it's like Central American black.
I didn't care either way.
It's not African.
But these black women, to wrap that up, like, no, people don't have a problem rooting for black women. Ask the Williams sisters. Like, they've been superstars for generations.
The most beloved athletes in the world: Michael Jordan, Walter Payton, Emmett Smith. I mean, go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady's not black, but I mean,
even
white
for
people
women,
have rooted for black athletes forever.
Forever and ever. And even black women. You can't just be like, the WNBA is all black women. That's why Whitey hates us. And it's like, well, tell that to Serena Williams. I don't know what to tell you.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
That's true.
Hey, Kanye West. He's in the news.
Is he?
Before we get to that, I do have two comments.
Well, okay, what do you got?
I got a super chat coming in, actually on the Facebook this time, that says, it's just referring to the fat guy, 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. And then I got a funny comment here. It wasn't a super chat, but I thought it was related to the basketball stuff. But Chicago's this is from Kurti Kobeshi. Chicago's WNBA team boarded after me on a Southwest flight. I checked in, and when I got in and I was boarding Class C, they were behind me.
Okay.
So they were behind him in Class C.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Yeah.
that. Well,
oh boy, yeah, military members first class. C is pretty deep,
all the way at
C's
the end. WNBA.
Yeah,
you can give if you just jumped in, you can give super chats.
Yeah, super
Pretty cool.
chats.
Yep.
I've been watching shows that have super chats, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe
they're
super
generating
chats.
a lot. If you get that rolling, there's a lot of money.
There's shows living on super chats.
100%. 100%.
But,
Steel Toe.
I mean, it wasn't always that way.
Yeah.
Oh, Steel Toe. This guy does a show, and he has a goal every day. He's like, okay, everybody, the goal is it $400?
Yeah, it's like usually $400, and that's when he'll end the stream.
Yeah, but he acts like it's an Ed McMahon marathon charity-a-thon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this tote boards. And it's like, do the fucking show and let people give money when they feel like it, and not to meet the fucking goal.
You know, we did that when we've done charity stuff. Like we did.
Charity's different. No, this is his living.
Yeah. No, that's absurd. But it's amazing how much just literally begging for 24 straight hours. Like we had Isis. Isis stayed up for 24 hours, and he was just like doing whatever the fuck Eric would do. And it was remarkable how much money people gave in small dollar increments. what did we raise? $80,000 for fucking homeless, and it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, no,
but
I mean,
I'm trying to do that.
there's
for
nothing
a
wrong with
show,
that.
Do that,
but
for
to
a
raise
show.
that for your income, to constantly be
Yeah.
begging people for money to pay you, it just,
Yeah.
I would make me sick.
Yeah.
But he does. I think he gets it most of the time.
Who
you probably don't know the story of Steel Toe.
What is
it's a good story.
This guy,
Toe?
the Steel Toe morning show. He was on a station in Minneapolis or Minnesota, St. Cloud, I think, and he went off radio, and so he started doing a show on the internet, and he was doing it with super chats essentially. And he would set these goals, and he was making it. And then at some point, he had his wife as his co-host, April. And April immediately, people were like, "Whoa, April's hot! You know, what's she doing with you?"
Yeah.
And a lot of people started ragging on him and going, "Oh, April's going to leave him." And people were, there were other shows that were going, "Oh, she's leaving him next year. I guarantee it. She'll be gone in a year."
Yeah.
And so anyway, one day April wasn't on the show. It was like,
Oh, boy.
what's going on with April? And I think, didn't he just say, yeah, April, it just wasn't for her,
Yeah.
and it was hard, and she
isn't
didn't
working
like it,
out.
and I would never ask my wife to do that again.
Bet there's more to that story.
Oh,
And
it gets
so-
way crazier than you can think. And I'll put
Yeah.
it like this. I've been following Requedo before all this happened. I was actually a big fan of his show for a while.
Of Nick.
Yeah.
Of Nick Requedo.
Yeah.
So I was following it from his side.
So Nick Requedo is a guy who is like a trial follower online. He did the Depp trial, gets lots of views going,
So he
here's
does a
what happened in the Depp
podcast.
trial
Yeah.
today.
Breaking down.
podcasting.
Okay.
And he's a lawyer.
And he had the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Yep.
And so he's done really well with that. So Nick Requedo and Steel Toe are friends. They don't live too far apart, and they're hanging out. And one day, not too long after April left the show, Nick Requedo, I don't know what the circumstances were. Why was he in front of the microphone just out of it?
He was basically pissed drunk in front of a microphone and kind of half out, and then a voice kind of came out in the background that happened to not be his wife because his wife was in the bedroom. So people figured out that because he's friends with Steel Toe
In April.
That the second woman in the room was probably April because they've done a lot of streams together, things like that, kind of sound like her or something. But anyways, people pieced it together, and then a couple days later, I'll let Drew finish this one up in a second. There's it gets like nuclear.
Okay.
Yeah, Steel Toe.
Let me guess. He's banging Steel Toe's April.
Oh, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Well, what first came out was that Steel Toe one day says, yeah, April and I split up, and the deal is that, I'm a father of 3, and I have responsibilities, and I was not living in a way that was really a good example for my kids. And so immediately people were like, oh, he was getting fucked up and doing drugs or drunk or something, and people start going, yeah, April looked really strung out. There's just a lot of comments about it. So then, like, a couple days later, all of a sudden, boom, Nick Requedo, his wife, and April arrested for drugs.
Oh.
House raided.
Oh.
Yeah, and they found lots of cocaine and lots of guns, which, nothing is better with cocaine than guns, right?
Yeah.
So then Steel Toe ends up revealing that, I was hanging out with them, and April was too, and we were doing a lot of drugs, and the kids were hungry, and they weren't paying attention to the kids, and it was terrible, and I had to get out of there.
Kids are a drag in their defense.
And April didn't want to get out of there, so that's why April and I are getting together. And then he goes on to reveal that, and we were swinging too. I was nailing
They're
Carla,
swapping
and he was
wives.
nailing April.
Hell
and,
yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, what? But ever since for about a week straight, he was like, oh, the poor kids. Nobody cared about the kids, and it's like, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
So he was really trying to clickbait himself into some audience, and I think he did for a few days, and then it went back to normal.
So this guy is still doing podcasts?
Yeah, he's
and
still going out.
He's doing the
trying
super
to,
chat stuff?
He's basically going out right now trying to cash in as much as he can on this whole drama with Nick Requedo and his
So
wife
this
and
is
everything like
recent?
That.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
recent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where now the things he's saying might get him implicated in a bunch of crimes.
Yeah.
So he might be going down with everybody else.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because he was hanging out with them. I haven't followed it that carefully, but
Have you followed, have you watched Fallen Idol yet?
Fallen-
On HBO. It's
Wait.
brand new. It just dropped.
who's it about?
It's about Nick and Aaron Carter and sex assault.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
It's on
watch
ID
that?
channel. Yes, I did watch it.
Oh, it's on HBO.
HBO has it too?
Yeah, Max has it.
Max
Oh,
has
Max,
it.
okay,
Yeah, Max.
right.
Have you watched that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
I know.
When it got down to Nick and it was like the disabled girl at the
I know.
podium, and
No,
I'm
I
trying
know.
not to laugh, and I'm just like, oh shit, I don't know if I believe this. This is so insane. Like, he's got this like girl with multiple sclerosis or she's palsied up proper, something.
Well, she wasn't.
And
she was at the time, though. Wasn't this 20 years ago when this happened?
Yeah. So she's got palsy or one of those, sclerosis, and she's got like PTSD or super anxiety or something on steroids, and he's just like, yeah, just suck it anyways, and he drags her into a fucking bathroom in the tour bus.
Yeah,
and I like, holy shit, dude.
Those stories, I just think that when NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys happened, I mean, imagine having every fucking teenage girl want you who's 17, 16, 18, and you're 19 or whatever.
Yeah. Be
I mean,
hard, man.
It would be very difficult.
Yeah.
And he sounds to me like somebody who just got to the point where he's like, I just need a depository.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
need
here.
a warm body
Hey, come
to
on my
drop
tour
this
bus. I got
load
something to release.
Yeah. And there's probably, like, some of the comments from people like, you're lying. They're like ragging on this fucking.
Oh, no, I know. No, the girls get trolled to shit because the audience is a cult. It's like the Britney. Free Britney! Free Britney! Jamie's terrible! The whole family belongs in jail!
Yeah.
It's like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
She's a nut. And
She's a
look at
nut.
her on her own.
And
She's
look where
crazy.
And now she's going to get into another conservatorship, and these people should feel awful. You have no idea what's going on with these celebrities.
I don't think she'll ever be in a conservatorship again. I think what's going to happen is she's going to go, I'm bankrupt. This isn't fair. I blew all my money.
Yeah.
Nobody helped me.
Yeah.
Because she's nuts. And she bought a house last year, like a $15 million house, and she sold it, I think, a month later because she lived there 3 weeks. Said, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I like it. And she moved back to her old house, which she hadn't sold yet.
Yeah.
She's an idiot.
Yeah, she is. It's obvious. You know, you've got someone who's doing fucking TikTok videos for millions of people when it's like, just do a residency. Go live in Vegas and make $100 million a year. What are you doing? This would be so easy if you had any sort of sanity still left in you. You could just do that. But instead, you're going to juggle knives on camera for a couple minutes. Like, what are you doing?
She's an idiot. She's a moron.
Yeah, she's
and
clearly
by the way,
mentally unstable.
I think her voice sucks. I don't think she's a good singer.
It always did. But it sums up that Fallen Idol one. Some of the trolls coming
if she looked like Lizzo,
girls,
would she have ever had a hit record?
Hell no, never. And it's kind of gross. We all thought, we're like, oh, look at this hot 16-year-old at the time. You know what I mean? Like,
look at how much interest there's in her fucking music. That's what I can't get over. It's like she's still getting streams and I mean, what?
Yeah. But the Fallen Idol one, some of the trolls when it was like, fuck you, you liar. You should be thankful or grateful. You got to fuck Nick Carter. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is kind of the attitude. Like, she's sobbing at the podium.
I think that's what fans now, because they get so much access to people on social media. I think they're almost like cults.
Yeah.
And when somebody attacks Nick Carter's like, it's my job to go after them.
With Nick. I stand with Nick. Like,
based you don't know anything. You know nothing.
He has said no comment. Basically, fuck off is what he has said. You know, no, I didn't. And you know,
what happened.
And you know what happened.
Because you're his fan.
Yeah, you're a fan. And they're actually interviewing super fans. And I'm like, why are you interviewing a super fan? Oh, Nick would never do this. Nick would never. I'm like, and you know this how? You know this why? That Nick would never do this.
If you look back on the reporting on Britney Spears' conservatorship and Jamie Spears and how much money he stole, and all the horrible things he did, and her attorney was saying, we believe he's taken up to $5 or $6 million. And when the whole thing kind of settled down, they tried to settle with Jamie Spears, and his attorney's like, you're not getting a fucking cent.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we only want $2 million. No, you're not getting a fucking cent. And they eventually settled for nothing, and Britney got a $4 million legal bill from her attorneys.
Shocking.
So
does
she
that
got fucked by the new attorneys. No, not at all.
I mean,
everything Jamie Spears did was approved by the court. Every cent that was paid to anyone had to be approved by the court. I have no idea why they thought they could get all that money back.
Yeah, it's remarkable. There's so many good things about this connected world we're all living in, but there's so many things, like, you wouldn't have 3 million super fans all giving their opinion, and like,
everyone should not have a voice. Almost everyone should not have a voice.
Exactly. I think we were better off when not everybody had a voice. And it's like these people are affecting this stuff. That conservatorship, it would have just gone on the way it was, and they would have had their crazy daughter that they're dealing with.
And she would have been doing whatever she wanted, pretty much.
Yeah, they'd be hands off as much as we can, but no. These people, if this goes down the road it's continuing to go down, she'll be dead as a 45-year-old woman. She just will.
I wouldn't be surprised. But what makes me craziest of all is hearing her say and hearing other people repeat that she was a slave for 13 years.
Yeah.
Like, no, she was not a slave for 13 years. Come on.
Yeah.
You really believe that?
It's insanity.
She said she was sex trafficked and, all these fucking nuts things.
Yeah.
Attacked her little sister, who was, by the way, a 17-year-old that was pregnant when Britney went into the conservatorship.
Yeah.
What is a pregnant 17-year-old supposed to do?
Yeah, right.
Why didn't she help me?
Why didn't Jamie Lynn help me?
Kanye turns out has a pretty powerful cult too, because he got sued 2 days ago by this incredibly hot OnlyFans chick. Her name is Lauren Vachada, I think is her name. Anyway, Lauren Vachada.
Picture, please. I want to see what she looks
like. Kanye hired her to be his assistant under the premise that she would delete her OnlyFans and get closer to God.
Oh,
and Kanye would pay her $1 million a year to be his assistant.
Oh, okay. Why didn't you do that with a fat, ugly girl?
She just happened to be super duper hot and look like Kim Kardashian.
Weird. It's weird the way that works. I wonder why he would want the super, super hot chick
who had no experience.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. So anyway, she works for him for a year. He bombards her with pornographic videos, and although he wanted her to be closer to God, but that's weird how that worked.
Yeah.
Then he sent her all these text messages, including saying that my dick is racist because his dick likes white people.
Yeah.
And also all these other really pretty nasty, a lot of nasty text messages, which were screen grabbed and all that.
Yeah, of course.
And so
why wouldn't they be? Why would Kanye be dumb enough to think they wouldn't be screen grabbed? Honestly,
I don't know. He just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is kind of the P. Diddy mantra. Just do whatever you want.
So then,
there she is. Yeah.
Then he promoted her. Yeah. He promoted her to chief of staff for $4 million a year.
Oh,
then he lost the Adidas deal. All the anti-Semitism happened.
Yeah.
And then he fired her and was like, "Nah, I can't afford you, and I'm not paying you shit." So she says that she was not paid $3 million. She was owed. Look at that picture.
Look at those tits. Wow.
She's quite.
What is going on?
Attractive.
Are those real? Is there any chance those are real?
There's no chance those are real.
But they sort of look real.
They kind of do look real.
I mean, they sort of look real. Garrett, you're gay. You wouldn't know.
I'm working on it. Hold on.
I know your mom's hot, but that doesn't count. Those. I don't know. I mean, it's obnoxious because her body is
she's quite
super
attractive,
tiny. But those
so then also she said he would claim that he needed to talk to her about business, and he would call her, and then he would beat off on the phone.
Oh, okay.
And then he also trapped her in a private room and beat off in front of her.
Well, who hasn't done that a time or two?
And so many more things. So anyway, he is filing a countersuit claiming that she was terminated for being unqualified and demanding unreasonable sums of money. She used sexual coercion. She wanted to fuck him, and he wouldn't fuck her.
Really?
That's what he's saying. Yeah, really.
Yeah, sure.
He rejected her advances, so she tried to blackmail him because she was so mad that she couldn't fuck Kanye.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yep. Sounds a little Diddy-esque. So anyway, Kanye's fans are actually on his side.
Sure.
They're like, she's a gold digger. She's a gold digger. Try to bring a black man down.
Look at her. God, I can't get over that.
I can't get over how stupid these fan bases are, though.
Yeah.
How stupid can you be? I would think you'd just go, oh, God, I hope this isn't true.
Do you prep different when you do a show based on, like, do you remember, and of course you do, but early in, it was like you'd go through the Detroit News, the Free Press, maybe USA Today, and then you relied on magazines and tabloids, stuff like that. And then every once in a while we get some wild story about some guy that banged a sheep or something, and it came from someone that clipped it out of their local newspaper and mailed it to us.
Yeah,
do you remember that stuff?
It was a lot of, sources were, you didn't have the internet, so you just had what you had, and there were a lot of people reporting locally, and for USA Today, and for, a few other places, and then you did have long-form journalism in magazines where you had much better stories that were, and then you had 60 Minutes, and you had a lot of investigative shows like that, and Dateline and 2020 and so on and so forth. But now, the world is, I mean, it's just such a broad source of material. It's amazing.
Yeah,
how many things, depending on what you want to talk about.
You didn't have, like, if there was a big story going on in the country or the state, it was like top of the day for the Drew and Mike show. It was like, oh, wow, this front page thing locally. Now, it could be anything from anywhere around the planet.
Yeah, I know.
And so, like, prepping has to be totally different for you now than it was.
Yeah, it is. Plus, with the show being online, it's not as local just because I think eventually you start finding people, especially since we started YouTube.
Yeah.
There's people that find our videos, and then we'll find the show. I don't know what that number is. I really don't. But unless a local story is really good. In fact, it's funny. I listen to local radio driving over here in traffic.
Really?
I never listen to radio anymore.
No.
And I had Mike Valenti on for about an hour, and I was like, wow, I listened to radio for an hour. I can't remember the last time I did that.
What was it like? Did
it was fine.
Did they have long commercial breaks still?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which is really hard to listen to.
Yeah.
But they were talking about the Tigers because the Tigers just got a game over 500.
Oh.
And they're actually 2.5 behind in the wild card, which I didn't realize they were that close to the wild card even.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, what's the Flaherty, the pitcher they signed in the offseason. He was pitching his ass off. Pitched really well last night, 5 shutout innings. They've got 3 pitchers that are pitching so well. Skubal, Reese Olson, and this Flaherty. And I guess Lynn Henning was talking about, speaking of old media, he was saying, hey, the Tigers could get a lot for Lynn Henning if they trade him at the All-Star break. And I kind of felt like, oh, wait a second. So we don't care about this year? This year's already over?
Yeah.
This is already done?
Wild card and
we're really just trying to pick up prospects still? We're still rebuilding all the time? It's frustrating. But
it's crazy. Well,
and Torkelson down in AAA now.
Yeah, I saw your tweet about that, or some post you made. Like he had a great year last year, and
31 homers, 94 RBIs, and I talked to Kurt Gibson about it.
Figured him out. Is that the
problem? I think that's part of it. Yeah, and I think he gets off kilter too because he goes in these long slumps. But I was talking to Gibby about it, and Gibby said the thing that's really different about Torkelson is that he has done it. Last season, he had that stretch of really like 3 months where he hit like crazy. And he hit for a lot of power, and he put up some great numbers. And so,
what year?
He can. He's in his 3rd year.
Okay.
But it's really unusual to send a guy who's been in the big leagues for 2.5 years and is a #1 draft pick to AAA at this age. It's pretty strange. I mean, he's obviously they think he's really messed up. His swing is messed up. Something is really wrong. So. I guess if you're going to work on that, better do it in AAA than with the Tigers.
Yeah, keep.
I mean, he wasn't playing much. He was being benched a lot the last week or so.
Yeah, that's not good.
I know it sucks.
That's not good.
Totally sucks.
Well, maybe he'll turn it around.
Also, I hate to break it to you, Lauren Piscata's tits are fake.
Are they?
Yep, that's the post from the doctor right there. He's tagged in the boob job.
Is that right?
Yep. Amazing work.
Tell you what, they're good fake tits, though.
They're great.
They're really good.
Yeah. Remember, fake tits for a while were just obnoxiously bad. And it was
I agree.
In an instant, you could identify fake tits.
No, that's one of the great things that's happened. I think that should be discussed a lot more in the medical community.
Absolutely. I mean, as medical advancements happen.
Why aren't they telling us why did fake boobs get so much better? Why hasn't someone done a big story on that?
They feel better too. They went from that rock hard bullshit to they've come a long way.
I know it's sad that it does take a lot of experimenting to do something like that, and a lot of people have to suffer. A
lot of broken eggs. They got to break a lot of eggs to get it right, but they're getting damn close. Good for them.
So, she's really quite
How
beautiful.
Old is she? Is she just?
She's 35.
She's 35.
Yeah, she's 35.
Yeah. Wow.
When you were talking about what'd you call them, bimbo? What's the word you use for certain type of woman?
Yeah.
No, it's bimbo something else.
Bimbo fetishes? That's the guy
bimbo
who likes
fetishes.
Yeah.
That reminded me of another ID show I was watching, Investigation Discovery, great true crime channel.
I'm not familiar with the channel. I mean, I've heard of ID. But...
Well, a lot of their shows are on Max now, and they're on. So, if you like true crime and you're on Max, you like you said, it's a Max show. Mm-hmm. But the Aaron Carter was actually an ID show that Max picked up.
I could swear they had updates on there that were from like weeks ago, like a month ago, as of May 2024. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
crazy.
they just did it. They were promoting it heavily on ID, and it just aired, I think, 2 weeks ago. So they did it.
Bimbo.
They're doing a show now called, let's see, is it Social Influencer Murders or something, or Social Media Murders?
Okay.
And they're all related to social media. And it's actually, I mean, there's a lot of true crime that happens via social media, which is fucked up, but it just does. And Deadly Influence, it's called. Deadly Influence, Social Media Murders. And
Drew and his true crime, it never changes.
I love it.
Yeah, you do.
It's so much more available now, too.
There's something very womanly about it, Drew. Your love of soap operas, true crime, murder stories.
I do not love soap operas.
Didn't you didn't you have a period where you watched a soap opera?
Oh, when I was a kid. I think when I was in high school or something. But this guy's name is Ash Arnold, and I don't remember the show, but there was a show, apparently a reality show, called Jiggalos, where they followed these, 8 guys who basically were escorts for women.
Okay.
And this guy is, I don't know, this look is, to me, it's so gay. His hair's like down to his waist.
Yeah.
And he's like incredibly buff, just incredibly buff. And so women just love this guy. And
like Fabio? Sounds
he's
like you're
kind of
almost
like,
describing
I would
Fabio.
say, I think he is kind of a Fabio type. His name is, again, if you want to look him up, what's his name? Ash Armand, Armond. So he gets this huge following, and he also starts doing all of these these videos about, how to come more. You want to know how to come more? You want to know how to keep it hard longer? And
has that worked for anyone? Has anyone ever come more or made their dick bigger?
I don't.
Seriously.
Yeah, I think people have.
Really?
Not significantly, but maybe.
But they've gotten a little bit of growth. And I mean, has anyone gotten significant?
No, I don't think so.
Launch in a cum shot.
I don't believe that
because
it's possible.
That those advertisements have been around forever.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. Fire a load across the room.
Well, because they know people will buy it whether it works or not.
I know, but if it totally didn't work, I mean, there's got to be some testimony from people out there like, I started fucking cracking windows.
Well, anyway, he's Mr. Sex. He knows everything, and he knows how to treat ladies.
Oh, there he is. Asshole. I already hate him.
Yeah, no, I hated him the minute I saw him.
Oh, what an asshole.
So anyway, he develops this huge social media following, and Jiggalos is going big time, and millions of followers, making lots of money. He's in Las Vegas, and because he's an escort, because I think a lot of the escort community is out there. So the female escort business out there is bigger than ever, and I guess these women are now known as these incredible escorts, and they get paid lots of money, and they have huge social media followings, and nobody arrests them or busts them or anything like that.
No.
Anyway, he meets this girl named Toochie Cash, Toochikash. You want to look her up. She's got like 6 million followers on Instagram, and she is really fake looking, like that classic fake look.
Like plastic surgery fake?
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me.
No.
I mean, but I guess a lot of people like
is she
that.
A whore?
Yeah, she's a whore.
Okay.
And I think she's a madame too. It sounds like she made tons of money. So Ash meets her. Oh. That asshole Ash.
Asshole.
Meets that woman. That's about as real as I've ever seen her look. Honestly.
Well, those are fake tits.
Yeah, I believe those are fake.
Nothing real about those.
And he falls madly in love with her, and I guess she makes a shit ton of money, and she's kind of the alpha. She takes him all around the world, and they're posting from all these great places.
But he's got a big following at this point, too.
He does, too, yeah, but not as, I guess she makes more money than he does. So anyway, he becomes insanely jealous of her. And like there's a one guy on the story on ID who says, I was telling Ash that I was at a photo shoot and Toochie was there, and Ash just lost it. Like, what are you doing at her shoot? That's bullshit. You know, and just really super jealous. Yeah. And so then she tells this guy that, wow, Ash wants to kill you for some reason. What did you do? And he's like, I didn't do anything. I told him I was at the shoot. And so eventually she realizes that he's gone nuts on her. He's trying to control her. He's just losing his shit. She dumps him, and he goes in this horrible spiral. And then he sort of recovers, and he starts reinventing himself as even more muscular, bigger, like more steroids, just gigantic. And he gets this new girlfriend named Harleen Dulai, and he and it sounds like this Tucci Cash too. They all do lots of drugs. They do lots of Molly. They do lots of acid. Well, he does lots of steroids too.
Yeah.
And so the girl that he started dating, Helene, her friend said, yeah, she just disappeared. And next thing we knew, she was heavily into drugs and nobody could talk to her. And it was just really weird and scary. And so then one night, 911 gets a call from Ash. And Ash is trying to give this long esoteric story about, we were doing mushrooms and this really spiritual thing was happening. And like, yeah, what happened? What's the matter? You need an ambulance? And I was like, anyway, what happened was, and he's going on and on there, and then finally, like, should we send an ambulance? Yes, send an ambulance. So it turned out he beat her so badly, she had her own teeth in her stomach.
Oh,
yeah.
Like he punched her so hard.
He punched her so hard, and so many
throat.
times that, he knocked teeth down her throat. She had multiple broken bones, badly broken bones, killed her, beat her the shit out of her. I have a feeling it's a steroids. Yeah, he claims that.
Roid rage.
He claims he blacked out.
Yeah.
Which is the great way to not have to say anything.
Yeah.
But I thought it was weird. He only got 8 to 20 years. And I was like,
what?
8 to 20 years? What? Oh, it's his first offense.
Well, it's a hell of a first offense.
It's a hell of a way to start.
Offense.
That's right.
Yeah, capital offense, exactly.
But God, that was
Jesus.
a
and what is it? So what is that
story.
on? That's
on ID. Deadly Influences, Social Media Murders. They're doing a lot more with social media now, which is a pretty good way to cover crime.
Yeah,
because
there's a lot
everything's
of
available.
it.
Yeah, you can see all the messages and all the posts, and it's pretty wild.
Interesting shit.
Did you happen to see the new 30 for 30? By the way,
you know what? I saw that my
it was on the
YouTube
Vancouver
TV
riots.
Recorded it, but I just saw it last night. Did it just come out?
Yeah, it was.
I haven't seen it.
I think it was out yesterday or the night before. And
I just noticed it last night on my I want to say DVR, but whatever YouTube TV is.
I feel weird.
Is it good?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I don't remember when the Vancouver Canucks lost Game 7 to whoever it was in 2011. The city just rioted like a motherfucker. Like this whole city was on fire and cars getting overturned and just craziness. And do you remember that?
Sort of. Is this when?
Do you guys? Anybody else remember that?
Yeah, you probably do.
I think once the Red Wings stopped winning Stanley Cups, I wasn't following hockey that carefully.
That mic's hot right now, Bob. If you know what we're talking about, is this? Didn't we go through a streak, or am I crazy? Where Canada didn't win a Stanley Cup for a long, long time.
Yeah,
still a streak.
It's still a streak
since '93.
So Vancouver didn't win it all.
They didn't win it, but they had been in the Cup in '94, and there was a riot when they lost the Game 7, I think, in '94.
Okay.
So anyway, it was kind of like the police were telling the news media, hey, look, don't talk about the riots. We don't even want people to think about that.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it anyway, like, hey, this is what we don't want to happen, and here's what happened, and look at this crazy footage. And so anyway, they lost Game 7, and riots broke out, and it was pretty fucking crazy. And that's what 30 for 30 was about. And
the riots?
Or the riots, yeah.
Wow,
a lot of it, ton of video. And then, of course, the reason it was different than '94 is because everybody has a camera.
Yeah.
And so, here people like in front of burning cars going, hey, look at me. And so these people all got doxxed.
Yeah.
And then not only did they get doxxed, like people just, social media, because of social media, people just went nuts on them, like, you loser. And people lost their jobs, they lost everything because it was so
Sounds
public.
like January 6th.
It seemed a lot like that. I honestly, when this thing was about halfway through, I was like, I think I feel worse for the people that participated in the riot than I do for anyone else, because they were so shamed. I mean, they started perp walking them too. And there'd be all these cameras around them and people going, why'd you do that to our city? And these people were like, I'm sorry. And they were all,
I was drunk.
For the most part, they were drunk 22-year-olds who went down to watch the game and just got caught up in it.
There's something weird going on now where this idea of shaming the shit out of everybody, like, what are you hoping happens? Someone blows their fucking head off? Because that's happening now.
Yeah.
You're getting that point. Like, when did your neighbors decide, like, it's okay to just absolutely destroy you and everything you've ever done in life? Like, I don't know, man. That never seemed cool to me.
That's what I took from this, was just that we are so judgy now, and we love. lecturing people.
Yeah.
Except the weird thing is, I feel like the judgment is incredibly uneven. It's like we let Diddy go on doing what he's doing forever, and we just, I love his music though, and it's okay.
Yeah.
When people are saying that he killed Tupac, he killed Biggie.
Yeah.
He was. Biggie or Tupac rather showed up in an elevator being shot
J-Lo
6 times.
Involved in
shooting at a nightclub where he shot 3 people, as we learn now, and just tons of indications that this guy's living in a very evil way.
Yeah,
and nobody does anything. But then some guy, is jumping on a car at a riot, and and it was, this guy's the worst person ever.
Yeah,
and
but he doesn't have a hit song.
I know.
You don't love that guy's song.
Yeah,
it's pathetic.
I'm really not understanding this whole business of we can't somehow ever blame anyone for anything because they have a nice song.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Or because they run really fast.
But then out of the blue, we'll be like, fuck R. Kelly. He's done. We're done with R. Kelly.
Yeah, well, he
went,
went,
on a 15
went a little overboard.
He did. And that's fair.
I'll tell you the one that's really like Tyreek Hill. I mean, have you looked at all the shit he's been mixed up in?
Yeah.
And, he just
catches the ball. He's really fast, though. He's the cheetah.
I know, he is.
I mean, he's the cheetah.
Well,
I'm a Dolphins fan. He's the cheetah.
Okay, there's a woman now.
I stand with Tyreek.
There's a woman now who came out, this is about 2 months ago, and she said, yeah, I was talking to him on social media. He invited me to his house. He was married, by the way, and he impregnated 3 other women, then his wife, the year he got married. I don't think you knew that, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, I didn't actually.
You didn't? Yeah, he did. He got 3 women pregnant. They all gave birth to kids.
Nice.
The year after he married a woman who is not one of the 3. And on top of that, there's this woman who somehow, I forgot how he got mixed up with her, but he ends up going, hey, why don't you come down to my place? And she does. And they end up goofing around. They're throwing the football around, and then somehow he tackles her, and she breaks her leg. And she said it was because, I'm not going to tell the story perfectly, but she said she knocked him down. It was kind of a freak accident sort of thing, but she said he was really embarrassed and mad, and he came and tackled her really hard and broke her leg, and then wouldn't take her to the hospital and was like, hey, put some ice on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, spit on
and
it.
it ended up being a pretty bad fracture, and she's got, of course, all the x-rays and stuff. And so that story came out, and nobody cared. It's like, just went to the moon.
He's really fast, though, Drew.
He broke his child's arm. He beat the shit out of his girlfriend in college.
Yeah.
And now a woman says he broke her leg, and no one's like, that's not enough to be interested in.
But he's fast. When I say he's really fast, I mean like really fast.
I know,
like,
and he
that's
catches the
not
ball
for nothing.
really well.
It's not for nothing. He's hard to tackle. Have you ever tried to tackle Tyreek Hill?
Very
Very hard. Very hard.
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
It's just funny how many chances these guys get. Deshaun Watson's a good one. It's like, I've noticed that the sympathy for Deshaun Watson has gone way down since he hasn't played well in Cleveland.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, he had a shitty season. Of course.
All of a sudden, people aren't really that defensive for him.
Believe me, do you think if he put up 40 touchdown passes last year and led them to a 13-4 record, do you think people would fucking be shitting on him?
No.
No. They'd be talking about him for, MVP of the league and whatever. Like, that's just the way that goes.
It's just this
a
culty
weird
fan thing is bizarre to me. I mean, 22 chicks, and actually, I remember this one reporter said to his attorney, said, so are you saying 22 women are all lying? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
they're all lying.
Sure.
22 women that he met on Instagram for massages.
Yeah.
Some that he flew in from out of state, and you don't think he might have a problem.
Maybe.
Pretty weird.
I think that with the Nick Carter thing, and it's like, oh, yeah, well, you got to remember when there's celebrity, because it's like, okay, girl number 3, number 4, girl number 5, and they're crying. And these girls were all believable.
And they don't know each other.
They don't know each other.
It's not a conspiracy.
They seemed very believable. They didn't seem like gold diggers or whatever. They seemed like fucking girls that, that's how they appeared to me. And it's like, well, with celebrity, anybody can accuse anybody. It's like, yeah, well, the other Backstreet fucking boys don't have 5 chicks that are all accusing them of shit. It's just that one.
And when they
just
say
the one
that they accuse them for fame, I'm like, people really dying to get famous for being raped.
Because that's
the greatest fame.
Yeah, and it's the worst fame ever because their lives get destroyed.
Yeah,
they get
their fans
shamed
trash
without
them.
mercy, and it's disgusting what happens to some of them.
Did you see that fat slob chick that was on there who was trolling everyone? What was her name? Holly Golightly, Molly Golightly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
fuck.
I couldn't stand her.
Oh, I hated her. Yes.
Yeah, she's just trashing the accusers over and over.
Yeah.
Like, you got what you wanted.
What about the other guy that was going after Aaron Carter and just trying to destroy him,
yeah,
like
that was-
wanting his
that was-
house assaulted and
That was
fucking
weird.
wanting him to kill himself? Like, what is wrong with these people?
I meant to look him up because I thought that's so strange. I bet that guy's must be in trouble by now. Is his name Gamble? Somebody Gamble or something?
Something like that. If people watch it, that you'll know who we're talking about. But it was just like, wow, these people exist, and
Yeah, he sent him Duster because he had
Yeah.
a Duster addiction and he
Yeah.
was clean. And so I was like, oh, I hope he relapses.
yeah, like the stuff, the
computer stuff.
aerosol
Yeah.
computer duster. Yeah, I guess you could huff that. I didn't even know you could huff that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few
Yeah.
people that love huffing
What
that
do you
stuff.
do? Just spray it in
Just
your
spray it
nose?
in your mouth.
Seriously?
Yeah, and inhale.
So you don't
Yeah,
spray
it
it on like
changes-
a rag? and
I want to say I'm not doing this from experience, but people usually just go straight from the can.
I saw a guy in Intervention who liked that Duster stuff, and it changed his voice. It had this really demonic
yeah.
sound. It was bizarre.
Well, the best ones are the paint huffers, and they got the fucking like silver all over their mouths and shit.
The witness
the
me.
mug shots of those guys are the best.
Wait, was
absolute best?
Was it Aaron Carter who was huffing paint with his dad?
Yes.
Like, wait
Yes.
a second. This kid's a pop star. Why is he huffing paint? He can afford good
15.
drugs.
14 or 15 too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
Get
dad.
some Molly.
Yeah, nice dad. Yeah, I think he was doing these dads that want to be cool, living through their kids and burning through all their money. Yeah, we got to wrap it up. 2
Okay,
hours and
cool.
15 minutes, Drew. This has
Hey,
been awesome, man.
sweet.
I got your boys coming in tomorrow. Thank you for
Oh, yeah. Brandon
and Bentley
Bentley
and
and Mark?
Fellhauer. Yeah,
Cool.
they're all coming
Oh, that'll be a
tomorrow.
fun show.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope
for
so.
sure.
I think it will be. Talk about the old days, the new days, whatever's going on.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Arizona before too long.
And you're gonna? Do you have a show set up with somebody else?
I do. I've dealt with Raj Sharma, and I'll get him on board, and Garrett will still be involved. My nerds will be involved on the back end, but I'd love to, continue having you and talking to you.
Sure.
And whatever. This is
course.
always so fun. What are they making fun of me for over there? Mute your mic. I can hear you clowns chuckling, making fun
Just
of me.
forget the woman in the room. That's all it was.
Are all these nerds part of your tech staff?
No. Yeah, she's nerd. That's Christine. She's nerd. She's what is it? Like finance shit, business stuff. He's tech nerd, and he's
Mechanical
awesome
engineering
guy. Yeah.
Bitcoiner.
Bitcoiner. Yeah, it brought me a Bitcoin. I can't cash it for real money, but
Oh,
it's
let me see
close.
that.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
What's Bitcoin's been doing great lately?
Yeah.
What's that at?
Well, you've got the
60,
nerd
60
ass.
something? 71.
71.
Wow.
All
That's an
right.
all-time high, I think, isn't it?
All right. That's got to be, yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Drew, thank you so much
Okay,
for
man.
coming over. I
You
appreciate
bet.
it a ton.
Good luck.
Thank you, buddy.
Stay in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. See you guys. We'll be back with Fellhauer and Bentley and Brandon tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys all then.